Now, here we are. Hello, everybody. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi everybody. We're in the middle of character development, so I will waffle on while Izzy does some character
Okay,
development.
I'm gonna need a little more help with this. I'm not. So, how do I level up? For instance, my physiology is at level 2 right now.
Right.
With
Because your physiology is level two is one of your background skills. It's
Yeah.
mastered. It's at 100%. All background skills are at 100%. So you don't have to worry about leveling it up. What you need to do now with your
So, hi,
adventuring
everybody.
skills. Hi everyone.
I am just going to
Uh,
go through our announcements while they are working on the characters. This is the Nat 30s, and this is a bonus kind of stream on a random Thursday where we are going to do a one-shot session of Fires of Athelen, which is a pre-release TTRPG that is going to be coming out in the next few months, I believe. Um, First, our announcements here. We have our wonderful mod Cheese Cat in the chat today. If you hang out during our D&D streams, then you will be able to engage in some hide and seek in chat, and some giveaways will be given away at the end of this month, actually. We also have our monthly giveaway. I'm going to do a little type here, a little giveaway thingy. You can enter as many times as you would like using your channel points or engaging in our Discord. Um, and this month, you will see just below me the dice from our friends at Almost Critical that we are going to be giving away. So enter as many times as you'd like. We will draw the winner at the beginning of December, and actually we have our October dice that we are going to be drawing the winner for um, Sunday, this coming Sunday. Um,
Nice.
what is the other thing that we have? A little bit of, we've got some merch in our T Public store. We just added a couple of new thingies. If you go to our link tree, you can go to our T Public. We have D&D live play in person in our garage on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can come hang out with us while we play our main campaign. And what else? There's a lot of things that I don't recall because I never write down my announcements. We have a Patreon that is it starts at $1 tier, and everything that goes in to the Patreon, the bits, the subs, the everything with Twitch is going back out to you in the form of giveaways and better production for our stream. So yeah, I'm gonna stop now so that we can continue building our characters, and we're gonna do this one shot of Fires of Athelen, which is a fun game that is not D&D.
No, it's a really cool freeform system, and I'm really enjoying like creating this character. It's just like think about who you want to be, and that's who you get to be.
Indeed.
It's
Uh,
delightful.
I'm back to character creation to help speed things along so we can get to the adventure for the folks. Um, yeah. Now you've got your. You, I'm giving you 5 skill slots so you can essentially learn 5 new skills, all of which you will master, all of which will be at 100%, just to make things easy, so we don't have to worry about things. And those 5 skills can be up to tier 2. So you're essentially you
So
can.
my question is, if my physiological was my blah 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 is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Um,
Your understanding of physiology.
if my physiology is at 2 and I want to get it up to level 3, does it then sort of transfer down into OCD skills?
Yes, because
Okay.
because you've got tier 2 physiology as a background skill. It's something that you understood before you started your adventuring. Because um, I think of our organic character development, our OCD skills, as simply has adventuring skills, the things that you learned when you went off to become an adventurer.
Yeah.
And all your background skills is everything that you learned before you became an adventurer. So it's just a before and after scenario. And we separate them because obviously when you start your adventures, your background skills are um, what you start your adventuring career with and as is the knowledge that you possess before whatever turn of events turned you into an adventurer.
That
And
is.
the OCD skills are the things you go off and you learn on your adventures. So those 5 skill slots that you get to spend on OCD are the things that you would have learned so far since becoming an adventurer. So you get 5 of those, and I'm giving you a 6th skill slot, which you can use to take one skill to level 3.
Rude.
Um, so,
All right,
so
cool.
for example, you can spend your, in your case, uh, you can spend those 5 and use that 6th slot to take physiology to level 3. But you don't master that 6th skill slot. You just
So,
roll
all
one
right.
d. You just roll 1d100, and if you get below 40, just bring it up to 40. If you get above 40, then that's the level of understanding that you currently have in that
All
tier 3
right,
skill.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna roll it. Oh God, 44. Okay, so I know a little more than average,
Yeah.
apparently.
So 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 in tier 3 physiology. So tier 3 physiology is basically you have an in-depth understanding of the humanoid physiology, its nervous system, neural pathways, skeletal
Nice.
structure, cardiovascular system, and so forth and so on. So you know pretty much everything about the vast majority of races out there.
I love it. All right,
Which
let's see.
which would make you a very good doctor, a very good physician.
Oh yes, oh yes. I've been adventuring with my friends. I've helped many people not to bleed out in my day.
That's an incredibly useful skill to have in fires of Athelen.
Okay, so for the other ones, do we do the same thing with the D100 that
No,
to
no,
determine?
no.
Oh,
Just that one tier 3 skill. The rest
okay.
I'm just going to allow you to master just for the ease of this one shot. So
I see. Okay, fabulous.
all those other skills, you just simply put them at 100%. You've already mastered them.
I
When this
like it.
adventure starts.
All right. Let's see. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you can develop your telekinesis a little bit more. You can maybe
I
learn.
definitely did. I
You can make.
definitely.
You can maybe learn some zoology, which
That's
is quite useful. Um,
absolutely my next one. While we're sitting,
maybe some necromancy to help you with your healing arts.
that is, I feel like that I'm a little too happy-go-lucky for necromancy, like bring people back from the dead. I feel like I'm a little too optimistic for it. You
Okay,
know, like I believe I'm going to be able to save them. I don't need to bring them back across the veil.
indeed.
Let me see. I'm literate. I know my numbers. All right, I've got
So,
3 more.
Izzy, as we were discussing, because we want to be able to show off FOA and all this much, because you're playing a sword swinger. What weapon have you got weapon proficiency with, or weapons?
I'm gonna go with a long sword. Is that an option?
Yep.
I would assume.
Um, we have all the things that you would commonly find in other D20 systems and more. We have a very not comprehensive but expanded list of weaponry.
I'm gonna go with a long sword.
So yeah, that's very simple. So um, if you've got weapon proficiency longsword, then I'm going to ask you to take weapon focus in longsword, which gives you a +1 to hit, so that's not a bad thing. And then it allows you to take proficiency, not proficiency, precision as a skill, which allows you to target where you're going to land your blows.
Okay, got it.
What race are you, Daniel?
I am an Ardenar.
A what?
I believe I said that right. Probably didn't.
A what?
Sorry.
Eleanor?
Ardorian.
Ardorian. There we go. An
I'm one of those.
I, though I was drunk when I wrote part of this game, I didn't think I was that drunk. Ardorian. Okay. What can I use? Maybe, oh,
So our Dorians are kind of like elves, or no?
they're I suppose minus the tails, etc., they would kind of be, yeah.
Well, they abandoned their own world,
They didn't
didn't
really
they?
abandon it. They didn't have much choice. It was simply being destroyed.
Uh,
Um, they were refugees, but yeah, more tiefling-ish.
oh,
So
more tiefling, gotcha.
they come in bright colors. So I use like half demons in Tailspire for not that one. You male or female, Daniel?
Male.
There we go. Fighty, wizardy.
Oh, wizardy, definitely.
Okay.
All right. I'm actually choosing to specialize instead of go
that
out.
is,
Like I'm here for I am, let's see, I think with everything I'm doing, I'm definitely the healer of the party. I am, let me see, when we add all of it together, I've got Physiology 3. So I am very well versed in how races, internal organs, like how the blood flows, where things are, how to help people. Um, I've got telekinesis 2 because, I have to have hands free so I can actually write down all of the experiments that I'm doing. Sorcery I've got physician 2, so I can definitely help, bandage people up. Numeracy 1, literacy 1, so I can like write and do basic equations and stuff.
so you can
Um,
add up the limbs and make sure they've got all the right number at the end.
yes, I know the difference between 4 and like 7, so that's good. Um, I've got zoology 1. Um, so I know about basic things about animals, the same sort of thing, since most things follow the same basic structure with, like couple arms, couple legs, a head, some internal organs. And then herbalism 2, so that I can brew. I do, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I do love my preventative potions here.
Indeed.
Keep me.
As you're a herbalist, obviously I'm not going to ask everyone to um, spend hours because people obviously want to watch the stream. Creating inventories. So you've got weapons and bows and stuff like that. But as you're an herbalist, feel free to have a look at the apothecary section in the Grand Bazaar chapter.
That's chapter
And
5, right?
yep, and you can pick out any 12 potions you like.
Ooh, look at me. It's all gonna be just potions of healing me and not you. Fuck off.
So, Izzy, whereabouts are you on character creation?
Um, I chose my armor, weapon, and precision.
Okay. So you've got your background skills. You've picked out your OCD skills, your adventuring skills.
Um, is there like can you guys hear like my fan or something? I can see my green light turning on even when I'm not talking.
I'm
Uh,
not getting anything.
I'm not picking anything
Hearing
up.
anything.
I'm not hearing anything. I think it might just be random.
Okay. As long as it's not annoying you. Okay, so
No.
my
Sorry, go ahead.
OCD skills?
So your adventuring skills or your organic character development skills, OCD, it's been stuck there for 2 years. I keep meaning to change it, but never mind. It's there. But those are skills that represent what skills you would have learned as an adventurer. Obviously, you got your background skills. You picked weapon focus and precision as background or as an adventuring skills
Uh,
because you had 7 background skills. So, what background skills did you pick?
I chose agriculture, so I was a former farmer. So I chose agriculture 2, herbalism 1, riding a horse 2, and a farming trade, like tradesman as a farmer, 2.
Okay. Okay, superb. So you were a farmer. That's quite good. So Daniel will get on with you because his character's a farmer. Um,
Not this
yeah,
one.
so
I had one.
you've picked weapon focus longsword as an adventuring skill. So
Yep.
after becoming an adventurer, you decide to learn the skill. You picked weapon focus longsword, which gives you the +1 bonus, which is a tier 2 skill. You picked precision, which is just a tier 1 skill. So you've got 2 more skills or armor proficiency. So that's 4. So what's your 5th OCD skill? Your 5th adventuring skill?
I had precision, so I had weapon 2, armor 2, precision 1, or does that not work?
Yeah, precision is only 1. So armor 2. So that's good. So you've got 2 levels of armor proficiency, which is useful. So it gives you a +1 bonus for your armor. So feel free to pick whichever armor you like. And then you've got a 6th skill, which you can use to take a skill to level 3. So you can, for example, take weapon specialization, which would give you a +1, an extra +1 to hit and +1 to damage.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, that makes it easier for you. Um, so that's pretty much that done. So for your weapon specialization skill, your tier 3 skill, roll 1d100. If you get below 40, raise it to 40. If you get it above 40, keep it.
64.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the level of mastery that you have in weapon specialization. And I'll explain how your tier 3, your unmastered skills work when we get around to it. That's all your skills. It's fine. So you can put page 1 away. No need to worry about that anymore. On the page 2 and your hit points. I know the other guys. I know. I just suck with names.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle, that's it. I know it began with a cut.
Hi.
I know it began with a cuss sound. Um, so Kyle and Dan, I know they've already done yours. So hit points. You're human, so you have 42 or 40, something like that, as base. Let me check.
40.
40.
Yep.
So what's your con bonus?
My con is 13.
So +1. So you roll 1d10.
Okay.
And actually, you would have had. Oh, yeah, we won't worry about that at the moment. So yeah, 1d10. Add that to 40 plus your con bonus again. So it's basically 41 plus 1d10.
So I rolled a 6 plus 1, 7, so 47 total.
Yep, 47. So you got 47 maximum hit points, which will speed through it, which will give you 15 hit points to your head, arms, and legs. So each of those locations have a total of 15, and your body will have 30. Likewise, roll 1d10 again.
Okay. 5.
5. So your death point is -16, because the way we calculate that in Physiology is -10 minus your constitution bonus minus whatever your racial hit dice is, and for a human, it's a d10. So
Okay.
a lot of things in FOA are linked to your genetics, your race, and who you are, as opposed to your class, because we don't have classes. So if you get to -16, you've shuffled off this mortal coil and joined the choir invisible.
Oh. Huh. Oh.
You wouldn't do that to me.
Oh yes, sir.
I have a question. The area that we are going to be in, as someone that understands zoology and herbalism and things like that, are there any specific things? Are there ringed vipers, sand scorpions,
there
or
may be
widowmakers?
not really widowmakers, but there may be some vipers in the neighborhood, because you are currently in the picturesque little village of Averford, on the northern border of the Kingdom of Delmore, and we will get to that very, very shortly.
All right.
So
I'm going to bring some anti-venom. All right. Here we go.
you've got your hit points, you've got your death point. Now, resistances for everyone are very simple. Your magic resistance is simply your wisdom bonus, and your your poison resistance and your disease resistance is simply your con bonus, unless you have the hardy talent. Unless you are naturally hardy, then you get bonuses to it.
I
Or you get a
do.
ratio. Or you get a ratio bonus.
Ooh.
So those are your resistances. We don't have to worry about spirit strength at this moment in time. Actually, we will. You've all died once. Your spirit strength is 4. There we go. Your spirit strength represents the bonus you kind of get to coming back from the dead. The more you die, the harder it is to come back.
So it's 4 for us?
Yeah, 4 for everyone. You can assume everyone's had a brush with death on your adventuring career to date. Is it, and those of you wearing armor or have armor proficiency, feel free to pick whichever armor you like from the equipment section of the Grand Bazaar, from the armory.
And can I grab? Do we have any money to grab things like I'd love to get like some knives and
you can have anything you want.
Ew.
We're not going to fuff around and turn this one shot into a shopping episode.
Oh, good. There we go. Thank you for that. Thank you. Right, let's see.
And apologies to everyone for not having character creation done. It was his fault.
Yep.
Yell at her right now on
I'll
Twitter.
take it.
The anger.
Give it to me. I feed off of it.
At least it gives all the viewers a chance to be able to see FO's character creation in effect, which is a good thing. Because whilst they're finishing up and adding their little things to it, so once you pick your weapon, your armor off, Izzy, and stuff, again, looking at the character sheet should be easy for everyone to fill out. Because you've got weapon specialization, Izzy. I think the stream may have just died.
Okay.
Well, no. Is that a thing that's happening?
Mine's fine.
No, it looks fine.
It's just my Twitch then dying on me. So yeah, for your longsword, just go down to the weapon section, stick longsword. Your attack rating, your AR is your strength bonus plus 2, because you've got specialization, which gives you a +2 bonus. Actually, +1 because you've only got focus in it at the moment. Strength bonus +1, and your damage is your strength bonus. Just straightforward strength bonus, and that's it. Very simple. And you've got your defense rating, which is your armor, and your flat-footed defense rating is your armor rating, is your defense rating minus your dexterity bonus. So kind of like 3.5. There are situations where your dex bonus isn't counted towards your armor. So, for example, if you're grappled or you're surprised or you're prone or you're in a situation where it isn't logical for you to be able to add your dexterity bonus, then it's easier to hit you.
So I have a +3, so my DR is what is it?
What armor are you wearing?
Hide armor.
Hide. So that's got a +2.
+3. +3.
+3. So yeah, it's +3, which is 16.
Okay.
And therefore your flat-footed defense rating is 13. So it's just essentially 10 plus your armor bonus.
Okay.
So that's easy enough to determine.
All right. Let's see. So I'm not wearing armor. I've just got a very dapper suit on because I'm the doctor that makes house calls. And they look nice.
And that should cover everything. Again, I'm just going to assume if you need something like rope or a 10-foot pole sharpened at one end, you have it. Caltrops or whatever. So yeah, will allow us to just crack on. Now, one question I'm going to ask, certainly like Izzy and Kyle, take a look at your character sheet. Does that represent your image of your character in your head?
Yes. I am
Yep.
so I the thing that I'm curious about is how do I calculate, is my armor just my 10 plus my dex bonus?
Yes, if you're not wearing armor, it's just 10 plus your dex bonus.
Fabulous.
Much like other D20 systems. This is where the commonality between us and other D20 systems exists. Because those common base mathematical mechanics, there's no need to reinvent the wheel there. There was actually no need. It's simple, it's easy. FY's got enough layers of complication. So,
Nice.
we're ready for our adventure.
Yes.
Superb. Yule, because I won't say Yole, because sorry, it
Y'all.
drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
Hey y'all. How you doing?
And I'm English. So everyone, you are in the quaint little village of Averford. You are standing, and we will pan out so the viewers get to see the village of Averford. Here is Averford. On the northern borders of Downor, next to the Ava Forest, where the Ava Ford, which is just over there, exists, our adventurers find themselves in the quaint little tavern known as the Golden Griffin, owned by Master Jacobs. It's a boisterous evening so far. Mid-afternoon, evening. Yeah, you find your way here upon your random adventures for whatever reason you guys want to make up, and you're enjoying a pleasant ale or two, or maybe some Dragon Bite whiskey. Totally up to you. You're sat around the table enjoying yourselves, and I'm going to throw it over to you guys to do something called role playing. Off you go.
What's this thing you're talking about? I'm never... No. Well, as a very small and slight, but very young looking, smaller person, I'm sort of trying to constantly sort of shift myself on my chair, to try to get sort of a better view, as this table is not really made for someone my size. Thankfully, behind the bar, they did have a mug that fits me, so I'm not drinking an aquarium of beer. But behind this smaller mug, you do see just this sort of shock of red hair, and these big green eyes as they look over the mug, sort of very curious about what's going on in the world. Below the mug, you see a very dapper, if subdued, set of clothing in more of like a brownish beige sort of day-to-day suit that looks a little worn, looks like it's seen a little of the world itself, but it's been maintained. And as you watch, you notice that a small comb is slowly trying, without any hand guiding it, to put some of the hair that is just sticking straight up back down, though it seems like it might be an eternal process that will never quite be done.
Like it. And what do the patrons see in you, Izzy?
So you see a kind of on the taller side for a human woman, maybe like 5'10" ish, very muscular, like upper body muscular, which isn't generally typical for like female physique, but wearing just some average looking clothing with hide armor, nothing spectacular, just a simple pants, kind of like common pants. And she's got like darker brown skin than mine, just a hair darker, and her hair is cut very, very short. Um, looks like she's seen a lot of hard work in her life. It's not too hard to guess that she has been a farmer. and you can see it in her hands, and you can see it just on her face. And she's been out in the sun quite a bit, so she's just kind of sitting there. And this is Ruby Brightbark, known to her friends.
All right, and kind of gapping the distance between our smaller, gentlemanly, well refined, and our warrior is a thin humanoid, has very vibrant blue skin, kind of like a almost like a baby blue, and then just has like a shock stripe of orange hair that it's it's got that mohawk shape, but it's nicely combed into a bit of a pompadour, and slicked back. Um, Sits in a almost refined position, has watches the posture, has a straight back, hands folded neatly on the table in front of him. um, he is wearing what can basically be described as just general work clothes, and his hands and his feet are just caked in dirt and mud. And my character's name, you bring it back up, is Cirque Villahin. Or just
And
Cirque.
according to Cirque's Taskbar mini, he also has a frying pan.
Very nice.
I will take a
Um,
frying pan.
I'm curious. Can I identify anywhere in the bar a person that looks like they might be like an owner or a manager or anything like that?
Yes, the man behind the bar polishing the mug, Master Jacobs.
Master Jacobs. Have we been here before? Is this a new? This is a new experience for
You've been
us.
here, you've been here a couple of days. You've been staying a couple of days, having travelled up here. So you are aware of Master Jacobs, and as residents, you will find him as a very affable, polite, and charming host. The rooms are very well kept. In fact, the inn itself kind of sticks out in the village. The fact that it appears to do very, very well for itself.
I'm gonna look at my ale and just be a little concerned and sort of look down at my pockets and realize that I probably don't have enough money right now to pay for this. Um, I'm gonna look at my companion. Izzy, what's your name again? Izzy, your character,
Ruby.
Ruby. I'm gonna look over at Ruby and be like, Ruby, Ruby. Um, I shall trade you this. God, what do I have? I've got some sunscreen. Uh, for a little bit of gold for a drink. You're looking a little red about the ears. I think maybe we've been outside a little too long.
I'm used to it. You want some gold? I can give you some gold. You can just ask for it. I'll give it to you.
That would be rude. Rude. Uh,
No, no, we're friends. We're buddies. You don't
Yes,
have to worry
you're
about paying
among
me back.
friends here. You're among friends
well,
here. We
How much do you need?
600 or 700, I'm sure.
how
Maybe
long is
two or
it?
three. I don't really do money around here.
Here.
Well, however much it would cost to get another beer.
All right, I got you. I've got you. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you, Roby.
oh, is that one 700? Do you think he'd be drinking the entire night?
You never know.
He may have been. But did we not put him to bed? Oh no. Have you been drinking all night?
It's been a very exciting night. There's been gambling and all kinds of fun, exciting things. There was this something was happening. It said it was only happening in my head though, because I had been drinking too much. But that's untrue. You see,
You know
because
what's
I had only
free?
had this one cup.
Water. How about I get you some water? That doesn't cost any gold. I think.
Fish poop in the water. Disgusting.
That's true. That's true.
Mm.
But I think you're drunk
What,
enough you won't taste it.
How
what do
dare
you
you?
think the ale is made out of?
Ruby's gonna
Made
get up
out of the sunshine and bamboo.
and head over to the
Okay.
bar. To be like, Master Jacobs, can I just get some water? I know it's not the safest thing, but
Oh, certainly, my good Lady Ruby. Yeah, I'll have Cecilia bring some over in a moment.
thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just do that like double tap on the bar. Appreciate it. She turns around and walks back.
As you come back to the table, you notice that his name is Cawthon Grail, uh, uh, known as Mr. Grail. Um, Mr. Grail is now passed out on the table,
Gonna like
curled up neatly. Yeah.
rub his shoulders a little bit while she sits down. Probably for the
Time for us to
best.
get up.
I had no idea he was this far gone.
I didn't know either. I can't say I would have stopped him, but I, you know, would have been nice to get a heads up, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we're spending another night here then. We certainly can't go on the road with him in this state.
No, yeah.
He is. You notice just a small pool of drool, just sort of getting larger on the side of where he's sleeping on top of the table.
Ruby's gonna take her arm and just kind of like sop it up with her sleeve.
The
You are absolutely a mother. Yes, you are.
with Mr. Growl snoozing on the table, the innkeep's daughter, Cecilia, comes over with a pitcher of water. It is crystal clear. One of the things you would have noted about the River Ava is it is beautiful and crystal clear.
Are there
Thanks,
any
Cecilia.
fun aquatic creatures
There
in this
are
particular river?
there are a number of fish and marine life in the River Ava. Yes.
You hear Mr. Grail sort of almost whispering as he sleeps, just sort of in between snores, just blue octopi, mm, mm, cherry-faced scrubbins, and he's just listing off various fish and things that live in this river out there.
Nice. And then Cecilia kind of just smiles and leaves the pitcher on the table and returns to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Ruby's gonna watch her walk away.
She saunters very, very well. That girl knows how to sashay. And where'd you go? That's right. Oh, I just created a new one. And whilst you're dealing with young, because he is quite young, only at 1300 years, Mr. Growl, in walks a young boy and walks up to the table. You've not seen him around town before. Yes. Question from the GM: does your party have an adventuring name?
Do we have a name?
An adventuring name.
Yes.
I guess we've been together long enough to have a name. So you're a farming warrior. You're a farming wizard, as it were.
Kind of. Actually, Cirque's background is more. He was an apprentice for a royal sculptor, so
Ooh,
he knows a lot about rocks and dirt and that kind of stuff.
I love it. There is I feel like the feet of clay might be appropriate in that situation. I feel like that would cover all three of us.
I like it. You can go either way, like FEAT or feet. FEET.
I love it. The feet of clay. Yes. Yay.
So the young boy walks up to your table, looks up at Ruby, goes, "Excuse me, miss. Are you the feet of clay?"
That we are. Can I offer you some
Oh,
water, little boy?
No, I'm fine, thank you. The magistrate would like to speak to you all.
Oh, shit.
oh,
Right now?
oh.
Um,
Hmm.
if it's convenient, and
Hand back shark noodle.
he kind of looks at um, Master
Yeah,
Mr. Grell with
we
a
can make it
courteous look
convenient.
on his face.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait outside. Good day, Mr.
Thank you,
Jacob.
young sir.
And the barkeep raises his hand. Good day, Christopher. And Christopher wanders outside and waits outside.
All right. So,
Ruby, flip before uh, well, flip before the joy of carrying our friend here.
oh no, I'll
As
do
you
it
as you start
gladly.
talking about that, as you try to sort of pick him up, he's just going to stand up, not really understanding what's happening around him because apparently he's very drunk right now. Um, and he's just gonna look at the little pitcher of water in front of him and just think it's a urinal and just pee in it.
Ruby's gonna try to pull it out of the way. Like, sprinkle some water on his face. And like, listen, I'm gonna
And
pick
he's
you up. I'm I'm
Stop
picking
that!
you up. I'm
Just
picking you up.
take that thing out of here.
I got him. I got him. I got him. And she's gonna like drape him over with his arms over, like around her neck, and then just sorry, Mr. Jacob, Miss Jake, sorry, and then start heading out the door.
My
Okay, so
apologies, Master Jacobs, and Cirque will leave a couple extra coins on the table as we leave.
yeah, everybody's looking at you. Right,
Ruby's
young
like,
you follow young Christopher across the way and over towards the courthouse.
As we cross the bridge, do I see any interesting fish? Like maybe are there any like cherry faced banoozles or
Mm,
any panda
you,
back sharp
you,
noodles?
no, you do see a number of trout that are caught within zoom down in within the
Oh,
fish
I'm
nets.
I'm I would like to use my telekinetic skill um to just sort of pick one up and make it sort of dance on top of the water a little bit and drop it back down
Okay,
into the water.
you can attempt to do that because you're drunk. It's going to be a little difficult. So all you're doing is it's kind of easy for you as someone who's got intermediate telekinesis, tier 2 telekinesis. But I'm going to ask you to make a roll for this one. So your first sorcery check is a challenge rating of 12. No,
Okay.
10. Yeah, challenge rating of 10 because it's relatively simple for you. You're only making the check because you're drunk. Normally, something as simple as that, you wouldn't have to make a check
It'd be fun.
because it's simple magic. And you're not under duress. Like, because you're drunk, you're under duress.
I am very, very interested in this fish because I just rolled a 19 on a d12.
nice.
The 19 will do it. And again, just to help viewers understand how sorcery works, sorcerers can essentially attempt to do anything that comes into their mind. It helps if you know what you're doing. And as Mr. Grell has studied telekinesis, it's relatively easy for him to plop and pick up said now alarmed looking trout who appears to be dancing on top of the river as you wander by. And young Christopher kind of gives you a look and goes, and doesn't say anything, and leads you onwards towards the courthouse. Obviously, I've left you all in the bar because I can't move millions of tokens all at the same time. But yeah, Christopher leads you all to the courthouse and disappears because other Christopher is already here. And I will just drop you guys in the courthouse. Standing up on the platform behind a podium is an elderly gentleman wearing black barrister type robes, kind of an official barrister's type wig. Where's Mr. Frying Pan? There he is. And
when I see this person, the only thing I can say is just, why is he so old? He's so old.
Ruby's like,
Dirk is going to reach over and just clamp a hand onto Mr. Grail's shoulder and just give it a nice little friendly squeeze.
He is as soon as you put pressure on him, he just starts saying, That's your lateral anterior nerve cluster that you're touching there, which controls the upper arm.
Mr. Grail, please. Mr. Grail, please. Gentlemen would like to speak to us, and so just
But
you can commentate on my body later. Yes, I know, but he does have something to say to us, and I would appreciate it. And I know
okay.
And the magistrate's starting to start looking a little impatient. But he looks over at Christopher and gives him a nod, and Christopher closes right. The Right Honourable Reginald Arthur, Nathaniel Declan, Olivier Montgomery, Nigel Pretorius Clark presiding.
comes from a long line.
And he does indeed come from a long line of clerks. And if anyone wants to write his initials down, that spells random NPC. Magistrate clerk thing. You would be the feet of clay. I heard you were in town. We appear to have a bit of a problem. Shall we say, people have been going missing from within the forest. As adventurers of renown, you're wondering if you'd be prepared to undertake a mission or a bounty of sorts.
Oh. And I can only speak for myself, but if there are people in danger, then surely I will put my talents to where they can be of use.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what we do. The feet of clay, right, Mr. Grail? I mean, when we're sober, you know.
It was a tripe fish, and it was dancing.
Yep, it was.
Our friend is in agreement.
Yep, we're in agreement here. Yep.
What's going on here? Sorry about that. Just tell Spar being crazy. There we go. That's the other NPC that should have been in here. Right, so he goes, oh, wonderful. Yes, Scufflock. And a guy who's been standing by the fire warming his hands turns around, looks over. Yes, Your Honourableness. I'd like to introduce you to the feet of clay. You will be their guide. Well, if you're paying, then yeah. Where are we going? Well, the old foresters encampment. We believe by reports that the people who've been abducted have been taken in that direction. Works for me. Clear my bar tap, and we're in. And when he says we, or we're in, you notice his cloak move. And a little copper-haired ferret head pokes out from underneath his cloak. Kind of
I'm sorry, a what? A copper-haired what?
Ferret. The head of a
ferret.
Ferret.
Oh, ferret. Ferret. Gotcha.
I want to play with the little guy.
And Scufflock just reaches into the pouch and feeds it a little bit of cheese, and it kind of just sits on his shoulder, nibbling away at it. I'm in. Clear with bar tab. I'm up for it. I go, oh, wonderful. Thank you, Scufflock. We may consider dropping the charges. Even better, Your Honourableness. It wasn't me anyway. But nice. Thank you very much. Scaffold wanders around the table towards, if I'm on the right window, it helps, towards Lady Kate, Lady Ruby. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Scafflock. You can call me Scaffers.
Scaffers, I am Ruby. This here,
That's Ruby.
this one right here on my shoulder is Mr. Grail.
It's
And-
Ruby.
Gonna gesture to her third companion, who is sober.
And I am Cirque. Scaffy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Ruby.
He raises a hand to his shoulder where the ferret's head's still kind of poking out. You can assume it's kind of like plugged onto the back of his shoulder, so the head's just poking out from underneath. This is Kerry.
Nice to meet you both. Were we gonna leave right away? Because if we were, I think we need some insta sober herbalism.
Hold on a minute. I can do it.
I can help.
do it.
No, it's fine. I can help you there. Follow me.
I can do it. And I'm gonna start rummaging in my pack. I hear you whispering about me. I hear you. And I'd like to try to find a couple of little herbs in there that I know, like, mixed together would. I'm gonna find something with a little bit of caffeine in there, and something that is a little bit of like a diuretic to try to get it out of my system a little faster, and just and a little something that activates the adrenal gland.
Okay,
So
you're bound to have a number of ingredients to be able to make a few potions, maybe to mix them together and something like that. I've absolutely no problem with that. While you're doing that, Scafflock says, "Follow me," and he starts leading you out of the tavern, out of the courthouse, and back towards the Golden Griffin.
Ruby's. I was just gonna say Ruby's gonna switch up how she's holding her little companion so that he can mix up his stuff in her arms.
Does my potion work? Do I?
No, it's going to take a while for you to put it together.
Okay,
and as you lead, as Scafflock's leading you back towards the Golden Griffin, he looks over to Ruby. He looks at, looks heavy. Can I take him from you?
Can he take you from me, Mr. Grail?
As I'm not really paying attention, I don't really care. There's although I'm very focused. I'm like grabbing like different herbs and I'm sort of tucking them into like my hair and my sleeve so that they're out and I can grab them quickly and like use them with my mortar and pestle.
And as Scafflock's leading you back towards the Golden Griffin, and as you walk across the bridge, he walks up to the edge and drops Mr. Grail over the side into the river. It being a glacial river of sorts, it is cold. Even all year round, the Ava River is renowned for being somewhat cold. Even in the heat of winter, it's nice and cooling, and the locals tend to cool off and relax in it. And Scamblon goes, looks over at Ruby, goes, "Problem solved." Just kind of looks down.
Ruby's like,
then Scafflock asks, "Can he swim?"
How deep is the river?
It's about, at the ford, it's about 2.5, 3 foot deep, so it would kind of come up to your nostrils. And
so as you watch, he very calmly, very gracefully, with a lot of dignity, given the situation, you literally see his nose, just his nose, sticking up out of the water as he slowly walks towards one edge of the shore. And he comes out, he starts trying to wipe himself clean, and then you watch as he just stops, thinks for a moment, and uses his telekinetic abilities to just sort of pull the majority of the moisture out into a ball and just drop it. Look around and say, "Hi, good sir. I have never been treated so disrespectfully in my life, sir."
Well, just you wait till later. Um, uh, can you get out, or do you need a hand?
I shall be just fine, sir. And you see him just sort of rise up out of the water and set himself down on the edge.
Ruby's gonna look at Cirque and be like, "We'll have to remember that one for later. Like next time." That's a pretty good trick.
So, Mr. Grail, can you make a con check to see how much your unexpected bath dealt with your drunkenness? See if it shocked it out of your system.
I got a 7, so add 3.
So 10. You certainly feel a lot more sober and colder than you were moments ago. So.
Quite a shame that he was dropped into the river like that. His mise en place while drunk was amazing. Just the way he was stuffing everything just so he could grab it.
Yeah. I mean, he's
he
impressive.
was drunk.
He's impressive in general.
Yes. Yes.
You see just pieces of like the herbs that are left sort of stuck in his hair and things just sort of float down into his bag a little bit.
Scufflock leads you back to the Golden Griffin. He goes, okay. If you got all your stuff, let me know when you're ready. I know where the Forester's camp is. It's about 2 or 3 days travel.
Oh, that's quite all right. Go change my clothes then.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'll be waiting here.
All right. Yeah.
I'll go retrieve my medical bag from it. As he's coming out of his room, you see like 7 or 8 different scalpels sort of casually rise out of his bag and sort of tuck themselves into like creases and folds around his clothes, so that he's got a nice stiff collar that just looks like a stay but is in fact a little hidden scalpel up there. And same thing with several places on other bits of himself, like his back of his boots and in his against his wrists, things like that. But he's ready to go with his potions, looking vaguely sober at this point. Beard is still a little bit of a mess, but that's all right.
Cirque comes out and he's just wearing like a jacket over his shirt, over his regular clothes.
Ruby watches all of the flair of Mr. Grail, and she just like looks at her sword and is like slides it in on her back and just looks really like she wishes she could do more, but this is the best she can do. I'm ready. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ha! I'm always ready.
Oh, wonderful. Nice to see you feeling a little bit more sober. I hate it when that happens. So, are we ready to go? And Scufflock leads you out of the Golden Griffin and into the Ava Forest. Unless you want to have any conversations with Scufflock, your travel to the through the Ava Forest will be quite pleasant. Enough time for Master Grail to sober up or get drunk again, depending on what he wants to do.
I just want to burn down the Golden Griffin now.
And you head off into the Ava Forest. I'm not sure if Izzy wants to take a break or anything at any stage.
How are you all feeling? You want to take a break in between, or?
I'm good.
No, okay, we're good. We'll crack on then. So you, whilst travelling through the Ava Forest, it looks like it's early summer. It's warm, it's pleasant. Scufflock's ferret runs off, and one evening, and you see it coming back, struggling through the underbrush and the debris on the forest floor as it's pulling a small rabbit back with it, which it deposits at Scufflock's feet. And Scufflock bends down, and the ferret is, its face is covered in blood. But it looks pleased and happy with itself, and Scufflock just smiles and strokes her. They appear to have a very familial bond to them. kind of in the way that Silvar bond with animals, except Scathlock is human. Um, they get on very, very well. She's mischievous. She nibbles away at the ferret. One evening whilst on watch, Ruby, you see your backpack twitching and moving, and when you open it to find out Kerry's in there nibbling away at your rations. She kind of just looks up at you, and just coppery hair and those bright red eyes, and tilts her head
Pats her on
to
the
it.
head.
She kind of snuggles up to it and then goes back to nibbling away at your rations. But your journey is towards the foresters' encampment, where the area in which you are expected to, the people that have been abducted or reportedly being taken to, is quiet and peaceful.
Does the our guide? You said that he came back with like some scratches, bleeding, and things like that.
No, like I said, he's fine. The ferret, however, like I said, came back when it brought the rabbit back. It was covered in blood. None of it's ate. It was all
Okay.
rabbit. It was all rabbit
Yes.
blood. They have a very close bond between Scathlock and the ferret.
How would the ferret react if I grabbed the rabbit to sort of like investigate it a little bit and record a little something in my notes about the internal organs of a rabbit?
As you pull it away, it kind of hisses at you a little bit, and it just stops. It kind of, as ferrets do when they kind of sit up on their back haunches and like watches you and kind of tilts his head and it's studying watching what you're doing.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and I'm just gonna sort of absent-mindedly, because I know zoology. I know that it's like I'm taking your meal. I understand this. I'm gonna reach into my bag, grab like break off a little bit of a ration, hand it to the ferret, and then start sort of investigating the insides of the rabbit. And I'm gonna just slowly draw what I see initially, and then I'm gonna like pull out the heart and hand it to the ferret to eat, and just record that. Then pull out some lungs and hand it to the ferret to eat and record that, and just go through the rabbit like that, recording and taking notes.
The rabbit obviously doesn't sit there and watch. The rabbit's dead. The ferret will sit there and studiously watch what you're doing. It appears to be kind of enraptured, but certainly very interested in what you're doing with Scathlock's dinner. It's just watches, and for a ferret, it appears to be quite intelligent.
Can I pet him? Does he look playful?
She doesn't pull away. She doesn't bite. Even made no aggressive actions towards her, so she's got no reason to dislike you.
Certainly, I'm gonna pet her a little bit, and then I'm just gonna sort of like see if she wants to come in and sit on my neck as I'm feeling a little chill right now.
She's not that familiar.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, as far as ferrets go, she's very inquisitive, a little mischievous, and she has a very close bond with your guide. So, eventually, though, you make your way from the forest, and we will just pop over to the next map, the forest map.
Ooh.
Oops. Didn't want to start there.
Nope.
Should have set a starting point. And I will just drop you guys down, whilst you guys can do some roleplay. And that's every time you say guys do some roleplay, everybody gets quiet.
I'm sorry, but what's your guy's name? Craig?
Cirque.
Cirque. I'm like, it starts with a C.
There is a C in it. Yes, Mr.
Weren't you working on a little something at the last campsite? You were creating a little something, a little sculpture or something.
Oh yeah, so I do try to keep my talents in practice. So yeah, that was just a small image of a wood nymph that I figured I would try to make.
Ooh.
Do you have a request for the next time we camp down?
May I? I think a little something, a little ferret.
Huh.
Something would be very nice. I I think that the ferret is very cute.
Yeah, so the ferret is very cute. Much like our friend's pet here. Is that correct?
I suppose.
That's
All right.
when you mention the word pet, the ferret's head kind of swivels around and looks at you.
Oh.
Uh,
Struck a nerve.
Mine error.
and she hops down and scampers off into a bush. Scaffold turns her down. She doesn't like that word.
Oh. Oh. When she comes back, let me know. I would love to apologize. It not mean to bring offense.
I while we're wandering around, I am going to just one of the potions that I got from the apothecary was the milk of the poppy, and I know that it can sometimes have a little bit of a hallucinatory effect if I'm thinking of the right one.
Yep.
I'm just going to mix a little bit of that potion in with my water skin and just sort of sip on it gently,
Okay.
throughout the day.
Make a poison resistance check.
All right, and what's that? So that's another D20.
Yeah, D20 plus your Constitution bonus and your challenge rating. I believe for milk with poppy, diluted would be like 13.
Okay, I rolled a 12 plus 3, so 15.
Doesn't appear to be.
I'm used to this.
Yeah, you've probably done a little bit too much diluted milk with poppy. You probably have to drink some more neat stuff.
I'm just keeping myself. I'm keeping myself at a level. That's all.
Kids take the drugs.
Does Ruby notice this that you've done that, or you're trying to hide it, or?
I am not hiding this.
All right. So Ruby's gonna look down at Mr. Grail, just be like, "You think this is really the best time for that? Like, you don't want to be like on your game, buddy."
Mistress Ruby, I'm
yes.
very much on my game, as it were, as you salt of the earth types might say.
All right.
So I shall do many things that are delightful, and you shall see. And he does. He sort of picks himself up with his telekinesis and does a little bit of a jig, sort of dancing around at different levels above people, and then as he's about to put himself back down on the ground, he just sort of trips and falls and lands face first in the dirt.
Gonna look over at Cirque again and be like, "How did this happen? How did this happen?"
You'd be dead 10 times over without me.
He does have a point.
Yeah.
If I am to recall correctly, we were more thrust together in need the moment than we were chosen by each other. So, escaping that Reaver attack from Caltron, we did what we had to do, and he's proved useful. So,
did what you had to do. Come stumbling into my cottage, demanding to save you and your friend from death, which I did, and then I did again after you got attacked by wild boars. I did again with the giant spiders.
That one I think you're making up, but I do like the cow lick. That's why I stick around. I'm still trying to figure out whether it's gonna go down. I think maybe if you get it to go down, that'll be the point at which it's time for me to go.
Done. As you start talking, you just see the comb come back up and start trying to slowly put it back down again.
You do know there are things like wax and certain poultices that can hold your hair down, like a pomade almost.
Not going to waste a poultice on my hair.
You can just use your own shit. It worked for some people.
Ruby's gonna look over at Scarf like, the fuck?
You, sir, are uncouth, I say.
Yeah,
And
World is
some would say that, but I prefer to call myself individualistic. Right, are we going to go find these things, or is he going to get high?
Well, now you just made the conversation awkward, Mr. Scarf. So I think we should go. Yeah, let's just keep going.
as we are trudging through the woods, he is sort of, now that you've said that, he's sort of keeping his eye out for any herbs he can find that might keep him going. The hills.
And while we're walking along, Dirk will summon his will. Just very, very slowly lift Mr. Grail off the ground as we're walking. So he'll still be walking. It just won't be on the ground. And continue to raise him up very slowly. See how long it takes anybody to notice.
He does not notice because he is currently drawing
What level
in
telekinesis?
his notepad.
What level telekinesis do you have?
Here too.
Dirk? Is it tier 2? Okay. I'm not going to ask you to make a roll, but Mr. Grail will have to make a magic resistance check because he's unwilling, he's unaware of what's going on. So from every,
I just got a 19. What do I add to that?
So just your wisdom bonus. So yeah, you will have
Oh,
passed.
it's a 0. All right, so 19.
Challenge rating would have only been like 12. So you summon your will, and you sense that Zerk, that just being an Eleanor and their natural affinity to magic, your will just kind of washes off of him.
As he attempts to, I sense this telekinetic intrusion, as I am also well versed in telekinesis, and suddenly you feel just little tiny flicks, like someone is just flicking at your ears and your nose and your eyebrows.
I will contest that.
Okay,
I'm contesting that.
Okay, as you attempt, right. So we're going to get into a contest of wills, which is a mechanic in FOAs, our version of counter spell. A lot of things in Fires of Athelen are contestable. You can parry, which is a martial contest, and a contest of wills. Counter spells is our version of counter magic. So you're going to be summoning your will, Master Grail, and because it's going to be contested. So your challenge rating for you to perform your little telekinetic flicking will be 11, because it's only something minor. And the way that you build your bonuses in FOA for your sorcery checks is if you are proficient with the type of magic you're attempting to use, like telekinesis, and you've been trained as a sorcerer, it means you can add your stat bonus. So for telekinesis, it's intelligence. And because you have tier 2 telekinesis, you get a +2 bonus. So you have to roll d20 plus your intelligence bonus +2, and that's essentially whatever I think believes +5. And you have to reach your target, which is 11. So, and because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And because it's being contested, your target is 11, and what Zerk is attempting to do is beat your sorcery check. So whatever you roll total, Zerk has to get higher.
Okay. My total then is 17.
Okay, so Zerk, you have to beat it. You have to beat a 17.
No, I didn't beat a 17.
So lots of little telekinetic flicks start flicking at your ears and your nose and your eyebrows and your eyelids. And to explain it for the viewers, as well as Kyler and Master Grail, who's never been involved in FA before, there are 3 outcomes to a contest of wills. There is A, the caster succeeds and wins the contest, and their magic goes off fine, which is what happened here in this scenario. There's option 2, or option B, whatever you want, and that is the contester, which in this case would have been Zerk, wins the roll, and Mr. Grail succeeds on his sorcery check, which just means it's been nullified. So the spell has been countered. And then there's the final option, which is option 3 or B or C, whatever. And that is the contester wins the contest of wheels, and the caster fails in their sorcery check, which means the contester can force something known as feedback. And that is when you push the caster's magic back into them, and you have complete control as to what happens with that magic.
Ew.
Yeah.
You essentially gain control of the magic that the caster was attempting to manipulate and bring into being. And there are some limitations. For example, if Zerk here had won that contest, the worst I'd ever allow him to do would have been something like cause a little bit of psychic damage, a bit of a migraine, or just turn the spell back on him. He starts flicking himself with his own magic and things like that. But it can go up to and including something spectacular. For example, if someone was attempting to teleport and you want to contest the wheels, you could say, do what one of our testers did and let them teleport, but they leave their legs behind. Which is unpleasant. So feedback you can have a lot of fun with, and you can also suffer feedback if you fail drastically on your sorcery checks. So that's Contest of Wheels. That's our magic. That's our counter spell system, which makes it a little bit more interesting than just rolling a dice and going, "I got 21 and the spell didn't work," which some other systems may have. But back to the adventure. So yes, you start setting off through the trees. I'll just move Scuffle for the time being. And Scuffle leads you up until eventually you come to a point where you can see some structures.
Oh dear.
Get in there.
What kind of structures are we seeing? Are these
there's
little...
there's a wooden palisade, and you should be able to see them all in Discord.
So they are. I mean, so they're obviously intelligent. They built a wall.
But Scuffle would explain on the way that he was leading you towards what used to be a forester's encampment in the forest.
Oh.
It's been disused for years, but the rumors are that the people who've been abducted have been brought here. So from your angle, this is what you can see. You can see a few huts or buildings inside what is a wooden palisade.
Oh, right. I would love to. I'm gonna look at Ruby, and as though we have done this many times before, I'm just gonna look at her and be like, "Alley-oop," like raise my hands up to her.
Are you looking? You're not gonna do anything crazy. You're just gonna look, right?
No, like we've done before. I shall be your shield against nefarious attacks from behind. And I am also not tall enough to see over things.
All right. Well, duck down and gonna lift him up over.
How are you carrying him?
I'm assuming like when you pick up little kids like on your shoulders, right? That what he's going for?
Yeah. And I'm sort of looking around.
Like 2 legs over and
ready to go.
Okay. So he doesn't weigh a lot, probably like 60 pounds. You edge ever closer, like Scuffle kind of drifts towards the back and into the trees, and you eventually lose him out of sight. We'll leave him over there. So who's going first?
Cirque, are you the quiet one? Because I
try to not make sound as I walk. I do believe if you're going to be carrying Mr. Grail, I may want to go first. How drunk is he?
I'm not
I'm actually,
at this
I'm,
point.
I'm asking Ruby that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's just he's like high a little bit, but he's not drunk.
Do I see any nefarious persons
None
wandering?
whatsoever.
I'll go.
It's very, very quiet. The only sounds you hear are your own.
Yeah, she's
Right,
whispering this, by the way. Stage
I'll
whisper.
go first. And Dirk will put his hand on the ground.
Mhm.
He will push his will into the ground. He will try to sense vibrations from footfalls or just stuff that's moving along on the surface of the ground.
Okay. I take it you don't have any Terramancy then.
Tier 3.
Tier 3 Terramancy.
Oh, damn!
Okay, not a problem. This is basic stuff for you, so I'm not even going to ask you to make a roll for that. You can feel. Yeah, okay. How big of an area? That's the only question that will determine whether you have to
Okay,
make a roll.
let's see here where I am standing. I'm going to kind of reach out in a cone to kind of encircle like the front gate, or like that gate area where the two pieces of fence are. Yeah, that.
Oh, damn! You just got raided.
Thank you for the raid, everybody. Welcome in,
Oh my
raiders.
gosh!
So that
Oh my
area,
gosh!
18 tiles, 120 feet. Yeah. Can I have a sorcery check? Challenge rating 12, please.
All right.
I believe Terramancy is wisdom based.
Would my
Wisdom.
geology help here?
Yeah, and you've got geology, so it'd be your wisdom bonus plus your geology bonus. If it's your tier 3 skill, can you take a tier 3 skill check for me, please?
All right, hang on. Oh, right, tier 3 skill check.
Mhm.
Let me find where my dice roller went. There it is. All right, and ooh, that's an 11. That is underneath my.
Yeah, so okay, so you get your wisdom bonus plus 4, plus whatever bonus you have for geology as well.
And that's tier 1, so I think that's another +1.
Yeah, so,
So
your wisdom bonus plus 4, and your challenge rating
1
is
plus
12.
4 plus 1. All right.
Welcome in,
All
raiders.
right,
You can
7.
enter. Sorry, you can enter into tonight's giveaway by typing hashtag BEADND. BEADND to enter into tonight's giveaway. Thank you for the follow.
Yay!
So that is a 7 on the die plus 6 from all the modifiers for a total of 13.
That's a success. You place your hand down. What's your spell? Describe to the viewers what you're doing, and I'll give you a response.
All right, I put my hand onto the ground and I spread my fingers out, which helps with kind of differentiating between like the different places that vibrations might be coming from, and I just kind of send my will through my hand down into the ground and just kind of creep along the ground and I spread out as I go. And if I feel if my will feels a vibration in the ground, will send that information back through the ground to my fingertips and then up into my brain, because that's what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to kind of hold there and see if I find anything.
You sense the movement of a couple of worms. You sense some tiny little creatures scrubbing around in a bush. Nothing heavy, nothing that would represent a large mammal or humanoid of any shape or form within the radius of your spell.
All
I'm
right.
gonna look over. I can tell that he's like attempting to do some sorcery, right?
Yes. If you're a sorcerer and any other sorcerer attempts to summon their will within 60 feet of you, you are aware of it. If you can see the source, you're also aware of what the source of the magic is. So
all right,
you're aware he summoned his will.
I'm going to attempt to, like, I'm just going to look over at him and just, ugh, a little bit. I'm gonna, I'm gonna push out my telekinesis very gently so that I can just sense my surroundings, and I'm gonna try to expand towards the wall, moving my telekinesis forward to see if anything, if it interacts with anything interesting, um, and especially anything larger.
Okay, so telekinesis, for instance, purposes, is a telekinetic force that will push and move objects. So I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask you to make a sorcery check. Challenge rating 13. How big an
I
area?
absolutely failed. I absolutely failed. I am.
You get bonuses. You get your intelligence bonus. You
Oh
get
no,
your.
it doesn't matter. I
Okay.
still failed.
What
Very
did you?
drastically, I failed.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4. So
Okay. So still add your bonuses on because it will determine whether you pick up what's known as fatigue. If you fail your sorcery checks by a certain amount, you pick up what's known as sorcerer's fatigue. It's one of the checks and balances in place to keep the sorcerer under control. Otherwise, you just keep doing everything. And the more fatigue you pick up, the harder it is for you to succeed in your sorcery.
all right. So I add my intelligence plus my mod of +2. So that's at 9.
Okay, that's fine. If you the challenge rating was 13, you failed by 4. So if you failed by more than 5, then you would pick up 1 level of fatigue. If you fail by more than 10, then you pick up 2 levels of fatigue. So, and there's kind of a mechanic that's also there in place as a check and balance to stop you attempting massive, stupid, monumental feats of magic at basic level. Because if you, for example, wanted to try and create a sun, there's nothing in FOA that says you cannot do so, except for the challenge.
I'd like to create a nuclear bomb that I set off with my mind.
Yes, which you can do. I've got no problem with it. I've never said no to anyone attempting any sorcery. But the challenge rating would be something like 28, which says you fail. The chances are you can create your sun, but the chances are you're going to have been played trying to do so.
Yeah, and then your head blows up. Your head just pops off.
So, but yeah, you summon your will. Maybe it's the milk of the poppy talking, but your head's a little kerfuddled, or maybe Ruby just wiggled and moved a little bit, trying to get you comfortable and put you
Taking her wedgie.
Yeah.
God damn it, Ruby.
So, as the viewers can see, magic in FOA isn't reliable. In other D20 systems, whenever you cast a spell, it always works. In Fires of Athelen, not so much. So don't rely on it. So, yes, you sense nothing in the ground, and there was no telekinetic bubble. So, what are you doing?
Ruby's gonna look at her
Where's our-
companions and just be like, "We good? Are we good to go? Where did what's his face go? Scarfo."
I don't know. Where is the guide? Where did he go?
Well, he was hired to lead us to this point. I believe his job is now done.
He's going to betray us.
All right.
That could be a possibility. I will give you that, but I don't sense anybody up near the gate. We should be okay to move forward as long as we are quiet and careful in our strides.
All right, listen, Mr. Grail, I'm gonna put you down because if with you on my shoulders, we're like almost, probably pushing 7 feet tall here. Not super stealthy, I'd say. So you're gonna have to walk.
Fine. I shall be stealthy on my own.
I think you can do it. Lift up over and bend down, put him down.
I'd like to try to be stealthy, even though I am obviously very much not.
Okay, and this is another point where FOA breaks from other D20 systems. We have no stealth skill; it doesn't exist.
Okay.
So all you do is describe to me as you just said, you're trying to be stealthy, even though you're obviously not.
I
You
am.
just describe to me how you're physically moving and what you're attempting to do to try and be as quiet as possible. And
So
as
I
and
have seen others. I have watched others attempt to be stealthy. I didn't really understand the concept. So I have my medical bag with me, which is about half my own size, and I am going to sort of wander through a bush. I'm going to stop before I get to the bush, but then very noisily try to get through the bush, dragging my medical bag with me, and then get up to the wall and then stop. And instead of like crouching down, I'm going to like just stop because no one can see me if I stop. and and then I'm going to go forward a little bit and stop, and then forward a little bit and stop. That's how I'm being stealthy, which is working, by the way.
Okay, if you insist. And as a GM, all the GM has to do is weigh the descriptions that the players give them, add in what certain elements that they know what's going on. For example, is the guard alert? Because to be honest, in the end of the day, realistically and authentically, it's incredibly hard to sneak up on someone. So we don't go by this premise of I rolled 30 on my stealth skill, I stealthed out of this campaign and into the next one. I'm standing in the middle of a field in broad daylight at noon, and no one can see me. Sorry, it doesn't happen. So it's easy to get seen unless you know what you're doing. So, you guys watch Mr. Grail pantomime his way and drag his way through bushes, rattling and clanking as he goes. My only question is, do you guys want to turn around and go home?
So I have perceptive. So can
Yeah.
I just look to see if I see anybody or listen?
Talents such as perceptive and logical, they're very different to other D20 systems. They simply make it easier for you to learn wisdom-based skills because you're perceptive. You have
okay,
that
gotcha.
innate sense of common sense, which is kind of what our wisdom is based upon. There are skills that you can learn, which makes it easier for you to observe things and pick up on smaller details. But I know none of you have them, so just not to worry. Otherwise you just work off of the GM's descriptions, or in this case, your physical, your what you can see in Telspark.
Okay. All right. So Ruby's just gonna like watching Mr. Grail just kind of walking up. She's just gonna like kind of throw her hands up a little bit and be like, all right, well, here we go. And she's just gonna walk up casually. I mean, not stealthily, but not trying to make a ton of noise, and just kind of walk up to
your armor doesn't make a lot of noise. It's not made of metal, so there's no rattling and clanking. And eventually, are you going with her?
After I realized that any kind of chance at stealth might be hampered by the rattling and clanking of Mr. Girl going through the bushes, dragging his pack along behind him, I will simply just kind of fall in step behind Ruby and just keep my eyes up, looking around. And I'm not going to be stomping on the ground, but I'll just follow her lead.
So as you two make it to the front of the encampment, you see before you what you can, you and the viewers can see on the screen on Telspark. There are 5 smaller wooden palisade type buildings. They've been there for quite some time, in various degree of like moss and stuff around and growth on the floor. There's a larger building at the back of the encampment. There's a small cage on top of a pole in front of you, in which resides a body, or a fleshy one. You can see a number of piles of bones lying around the encampment, and from where you are, you can just about see a figure standing inside the large building at the back.
But is the body in the cage alive?
considering you're 3 foot tall and you can't quite see over the palisade from where you are, difficult to tell. But you certainly would have seen a figure whilst you were up there, but where you were going, okay, I'll move you over here just to make it easier for you. So you were heading that way, climbing through the bush. So yeah, from where you are, difficult to tell if it's alive. Certainly fleshy. It's certainly slumped.
I would like to. Am I adept enough with telekinesis that I could check a pulse from this distance?
Telekinesis, you couldn't really check a pulse with telekinesis because it's just a force. You wouldn't get a physical response from your telekinesis.
Okay, so no somatic response. All right.
No somatic. You could. I just thrown out there. You could use your magic to attempt to determine if there is a heartbeat just by pushing your sorcery into the body to try and ascertain what's going on
Okay,
inside.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Does my knowledge of physiology help at
Yeah,
all?
you're certainly your knowledge of physiology. You know where the heart and the pulse is, and all the everything else in the body. So it will be your wisdom bonus because you are trained in sorcery, plus your what level physiology do you have? 3, I
3.
believe. Okay, so because you haven't mastered your tier 3 skill, I'm going to ask you to roll 1d100 and
Oh dear.
and let me know if you get below the level of your tier 3 skill.
I did not.
Then you don't get that level of bonus because you didn't succeed. But
You're a monster.
Yes, I am. I'm not going to argue about it. But you do get your bonus for tiers 1 and 2. So you get a +2 bonus. So your wisdom bonus +2. So I'm just. It sounds finicky,
Okay,
but
so I got a total of 19.
That would have been a success. My challenge rating would have been 13. So you reach out, you kind of push your sorcery into the body using your magic. You sense that yes, there is a circulatory system, there is a heartbeat, but it's weak and erratic.
All right, I'm gonna whisper over to Cirque. I'm gonna say, can you combine efforts to make something easier?
Sorcerers can work together.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, he weighs much more than I, but he's alive. I think if we work together, we can probably get this door open, get him out, and I might be able to revive him. He might have some information for us.
While they're communicating, and Ruby sees a figure standing at the edge, she's just going to take her sword out and just kind of have it ready, not aggressive, but just, her long sword is in her hands.
And what you do?
Casual longsword,
Casual.
as you do.
Cirque, what are you up to?
All right, I will consider Mr. Grail's proposal, and Dean, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I will move over to him so we can kind of, we're not like trying to reach through time and space to, have our wills kind of combined so we can get this guy down. And since we're next to each other, I will motion for him to proceed, and that I will kind of tap my will into his when he begins to do that telekinesis thing that he does so well.
So this is how combined sorcery works, again, for our viewers and those that are new to FOA. 2 magic users can work together to perform more miraculous feats of magic, or things that they consider that may be a little bit beyond them. So, if you're attempting to connect to somebody else's sorcery, you roll a straight up sorcery check based upon your wisdom, and your challenge rating is 10, just to connect to the spell. That will give the caster of the spell, which is in this case Mr. Grell, a D4 bonus. And obviously, the more sorcerers that connect to it, the higher the bonus becomes. So if you had 2 sorcerers connected, your bonus would be D6. And that bonus, again, that scalable dice system will be benefited by if the sorcerer is connected to the spell, have an understanding of what's going on. And because you have, I believe you have telekinesis,
Yes.
Tier 2. So that would increase that original D4 up to a D8. So,
Oh my God.
mhm.
We're
Because
Here's
yeah,
the thing,
something
though.
fancy now.
yeah, indeed. So that's how sorcerers can work together to greater effect. So, Master Grell,
That's if
you're
only. That's only if I connect, right?
yeah, only if you
I
can.
rolled a 9, so I did not.
You're a monster. Oh my God, why are you ruining my life?
Yeah, but this is the good thing. This is the good thing about sorcery. If first you don't succeed, try again. So as nothing's going on, nobody's come out to challenge you. You've all been.
I'm just gonna look back at him. I'm gonna look back and be like, could you figure this the fuck out?
Sorry, I'm having trouble.
So Master Grail's still
Will
got
is
drunk.
it's higher than mine.
You are driving me to drink, sir.
Ruby's gonna be like,
I'm sure I am.
out of the
This
corner of her
time-
mouth, just say like, "Can you guys figure this shit out? There's a creepy something at the end of this.
I'm trying.
Just staring at us."
I mean, I'm not
She's
the
gonna,
one
like,
that
12.
threw me on the ground to wander through the bushes on my own. I'm just can't believe you would do something like that. Are you ready,
That was
sir?
12. I rolled a 12. I have connected to your
I feel a
flow of
surge.
slightly higher
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
I feel this surge of power, and I think
Exactly. What are you using? What skills are you using to perform your magic? And what type? Exactly what is the end result?
so. This is a complex task. We must open the cage, lift the man gently to safety, and then I would use various other things like my herbology and physiology and my physician skills to try to revive him.
That's not the magic. What is the feat of magic you're attempting? You're attempting to open the cage.
The first thing I'm trying to do is gently tear the door off so it doesn't sound an alarm.
Gently tear the door off.
Gently tear the door.
I'm going to attempt to gently rip metal in half.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Gently annihilate the door.
So, yes, you manifest your will. You start reaching out with your telekinesis. Your challenge rating will be 14. However, again, you get your bonuses, your intelligence bonus, your telekinesis bonus, which is...
So 5 plus 8. So I get a plus 13 right now, essentially.
Well, no, you get plus 5, plus,
and then
plus a D8, plus your D20.
Plus
plus
a
a
D8.
D8.
Yeah,
Okay,
plus a
all right,
D8.
now plus 8.
Yeah,
All right,
plus
so I got
D8.
a 6 on the D8, so I get a total of plus 11.
Okay,
Nice.
so you need to get...
And my total is 23.
There
Ooh.
you go, success. Connecting to Master Gray's will, you reach. He reaches out, he grabs hold of the cage, and with an almighty screeching wreck, he rips the door literally off because it's metal. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. It doesn't break easy and it doesn't break quietly. But it goes spinning off into the night and into the forest, and then you kind of push your wheel out a little bit further. Because you've got 23, that's more than enough for you to lift the body up. And
Ruby's gonna get closer as that's going on. Like, she wasn't necessarily aware of what they were gonna do, but she's gonna get close enough to, like, kind of, if the body were to fall, but she's also looking.
It rises up out of the... what have I actually put in there? No, I didn't. I put pumpkin in there. So the body rises up. It's human.
Ugh, humans.
And it would be...
Pardon you.
We'll go with this fellow. He rises
You're
up,
different, Ruby.
comes over, lands gently on the floor.
I mean, if we're being honest, Ruby, you're barely human at all. You're almost like one of my kind. I mean, we are delightful.
And he lands at your feet. And the wrenching and the screech the screeching sound of snapping and churning metal is certainly enough to alert the figure that Ruby's had her eyes on. And he walks out from under his encampment and stands in the entrance. And much like the model, the mini being used, he's wearing a heavy black robe trimmed in red. You can't see a face or anything underneath the hood. And he just looks out in Ruby's direction.
Ruby's gonna
And we have initiative.
No! Oh shit! All right, are we still connected?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
But totally up to you, either you, whether you want to end it or not. So
I'm totally good with having all this extra power. 100%.
20 plus.
So sorry, initiative is D20 plus my dex.
Yeah, plus your dex, plus your wisdom. For us, what we call your reaction speed or your initiative roll is based upon two factors: your dexterity, your ability to react to what you see, what's going on around you, and your wisdom bonus, which is your ability to perceive the situation and make a decision on what's going on. Because again, anyone who's ever been out there in a fight or on a rugby field or an American football field or anything like that, it's all about being able to read and make decisions under pressure, which is why wisdom and dex are combined for our initiative straight actions.
All right. I got a 14 for my initiative total.
So 20 plus 25.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, 25. That would be the bad guy at the other end.
Oh.
Well, that's unacceptable.
He is too far away, I believe, for you guys to do anything about his will, but I'll just make sure something he is in fact on site. Just make sure he is out of range.
Gotta get some battle music going here. Find something.
Go for it. He's 125 feet away, so yeah, you're out of range. He summons his will, and so that will require me rolling a d20, which I dropped over there. An 18 on a dice would be more than acceptable for what he's attempting to do. And my necromancer friend summons from the piles of bones and bodies lying around. You all witness black smoke kind of ooze out of his robe onto the floor and start drifting across like a fog of sorts across the encampment. And as it strikes the bodies begin to twitch, and as it washes over piles of bones, the bodies begin to clicker and rattle and come together and form up into what you see before you.
Gross.
Which are 4 skeletons, 6 skeletons, and what appear to be 2 fleshy, putrid, animalistic type creatures. So, that's his action done. These guys don't get to join the initiative order until next turn. So, 20 plus, 15 plus. 15 plus, 10 plus.
14!
14.
14.
14. Master Grail, you can argue amongst yourselves if you want to go first, or you just go by whoever's got the best reaction speed.
No, you can go first, Mr. Grail. Thank you for the raid.
Oh my god, yay, raid! Join the giveaway. It's BD&D, BEAD&D. It's great. There's okay, so I have a question about the rules. This is a playtest. I don't feel bad asking this in the middle of combat. If I were to utilize the strength that I have right now, would it cancel out somebody else's turn, or would he still get a turn after me?
What do you mean by canceling out his turn?
So, like, he's connected to me. If I utilize his sorceress power,
Yes.
right now to do something?
He has to remain connected to you because he's currently connected to you. He can sever that connection at the start of his turn, but he's still currently connected to you.
Well, so that's what I'm asking. Can I utilize it now and then he can disconnect it and take his own turn, or would I be essentially taking his turn?
He can disconnect and take his turn.
Okay, all right. So I don't have to worry about it. I just didn't want to like rob you of a turn.
Yeah, I thought you meant the bad guy when you said this. You can prove his
sorry.
turn.
Yeah, okay, so I would like to, since I feel this surge of power and I see this, I'm assuming that I witnessed the dead coming to life.
You all
Which is
witnessed the bones coming to life.
absolutely anathema to me. I hate necromancers. I think they're terrible and they should be ashamed of themselves. I would like to try, since I've already ripped the door off the cage and gently set this person down on the ground near me, I would like to try to send that cage hurtling towards the necromancer, bouncing and potentially hitting him, or at least like hitting the building he's around, trying to distract him and end whatever spell he's doing.
The entire cage.
The entire cage. I feel powerful.
Okay, go for it. Your challenge rating will be 16. And
all right.
Then you get your intelligence bonus +2, plus 1d8 because you still.
All right. D8 is a +5, so I get a +10. And oh come on! Oh shit! I rolled an 18. So 1d8.
So the cage goes hurling towards him, and he summons his will again as his reaction, so he gets a -something to it, and fails. You actually pick up a level of fatigue for that.
Yeah.
Two levels of fatigue.
Sir, this is why I love you, sir.
And the cage slams into him. Can you roll?
Oh my god.
1d12.
Oh damn.
Actually, no. I'm going to give you 2d8. Can you roll 2d8?
Wow. Okay. All right.
Because
I'll take
it's
2d8.
It's a
First
big
one
cage.
is a 7. Second one is a 2.
So
So 9
you dealt 9 points of damage. Now roll 1d8 to determine which location got struck by the cage. Because obviously
it is a 4.
So you hit him square in the body. So you took 9 points of damage to his body and 9 off his tail. Okay, superb. And he it's a big heavy cage followed by a lot of telekinetic magic. He's going to roll a 2 on his strength check. So he's going to get knocked back 5 feet and flat. No, didn't want to do that one time.
So now I do have a question. Had I noticed him casting this spell, if I wasn't in the middle of something, would I have been able to contest it?
Yes, if you're close enough. If you were within 60 feet. Which is why I checked to make sure you guys were out of range.
Because you're trying to ruin my day? That's what you're doing?
No, I'm just trying to keep my bad guys alive. And he gets knocked back into the flat on his ass, 10 feet.
That's what you get for being a filthy necromancer. You shall answer to me, sir.
And on 14?
That's me. All right. So where is this person that we saved? Are they behind me?
Yes, he's currently lying on the floor.
Out of range. All right. So okay, I see him. So kind of look back and she's just gonna say like, get him out of the way, and then do that whole like swinging thing with her sword, and then start walking towards with one hand walk over towards the creepy fleshy thing that is closest to her, so the one on the right maybe
That one?
yeah, and go ahead and just swing away.
Okay, swing away.
So that is sorry, do I get only one attack?
Yes, you only get one attack.
All right, so my longs. Very good.
all actions, anything you do is considered to be your action for that round, and I'll explain at the end of the stream why we do this.
Okay, so I'm going to swing with my longsword, and I'm going to try to, do I get to target? Oh yeah, I have precision, so I can target.
Yeah, you've got precision, which allows you to target your blows. Strictly by the
Can
rules,
I?
you need
Sorry.
to.
Can I use my zoology and physiology to figure out what would be the most devastating blow, and then tell that, like, yell that to her?
You can if you use your action to study the creature.
Okay, thank you.
As you get up close, you can see it's kind of a bent over and haunched and twisted human or humanoid creature. The rules for precision is you must declare you're using it before you roll the dice to stop you rolling high and then going, I'm hitting him in the head.
Yeah.
So that rule is in there for that specific reason. If you do declare that you're going to hit someone in the head, you get -4 to your attack roll, because any creature, or any sentient creature anyway, that has a brain in its head will instinctively duck if you swing something at it.
Right.
And to stop people just going, I'm going to hit him in the head, I'm going to hit him in the head.
So what's my bonus? I got a +2 for my longsword, because that'll...
Yeah, plus your strength bonus.
Plus my strength, which is a 1, so I'm at +3.
Yep, so that's your attack bonus, +3.
+3, okay. I'm just gonna write that down. +3. You know what? I am... What did you say that the DR was?
I didn't tell you what the DR was.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was that you declared, because you've said the other one, so I wasn't sure if it was like a known thing. All right.
No. I never tell anyone.
I'm gonna no, I'm just gonna attack. Oh, shit. God damn it.
You can be precise about it. And an explanation for the viewers, I know this slows down combat just because we're explaining things as we go. In FOA, because we have locational hit points, if a limb is reduced to 0, it becomes inoperative. If your head's reduced to 0, you're knocked unconscious. If your body's reduced to 0, you're unconscious. So creatures like this that use claws, if you reduce one of their arms to 0, you reduce the amount of damage they can do, or whether they can attack. If you reduce a leg to 0, you reduce a creature's ability to move. It reduces his movement rate. It stops them from being able to make reactions because they're not stable enough, and it incurs other penalties. So combat, certainly for martial characters, becomes very tactical and strategic. So that's why skills like precision exist. For example, if you're fighting a guy with a shield, it's quite difficult to hit. If you remove his shield, it's a little easier to beat up. If you're fighting a guy with a two-handed sword, break one of his arms, you can't hit with his two-handed sword anymore.
All right, I just rolled. I was gonna go for the head, but then I didn't say it. So she's just walking up and just swinging at whatever she hits. So I got a 16 on the dice +3 for 19.
So that will certainly hit. So because you weren't using precision, just roll 1d8 to determine which location you struck.
That is a 3.
So you hit it in the body.
All right. And my damage dice are
1d8. It's a longsword plus your strength bonus +1. Actually, your tier 3 skill is weapon specialization. So can you roll
+2.
1d100? Yeah. Oh. Can you roll 1d100 and tell me if you get below your skill mastery total for weapon specialization?
I got a 16, so that is below 64.
Okay. Then you gain the bonuses for weapon specialization. So yes, it's your strength bonus +1.
All right, so my strength +1, +2 for the longsword, or no?
No, because you've just got a normal longsword.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so that is 7 points of damage. 5 + 1 + 1.
Okay, so 7 points of damage to the body. A nice solid strike. You carve a gash, and blood kind of more like congealed blood, kind of oozes out as opposed to pours out of it. Looks like it was lying on the floor, and most of the blood, the resting blood, would have been on its chest. So you kind of it's like goo and ooze starts pouring down its chest. It doesn't scream or howl. It just snarl at you. So that's easy done. And last in the round would be Zerk.
All right. Dirk will pat Mr. Grail on the shoulder and kind of give him a nod. I will then break his connection with his will. I'm going to walk forward, probably to where I'm between those two palisades. And I can see I can see that Ruby is engaged with one, and
Yep.
there's another one that's just kind of hanging out there. All
Mhm.
right. Cirque is going to gather his will, and he is going to start to move his hands kind of in a circular motion out in front of him. And while he is doing that, he is going to try to soften the earth beneath that monster's feet so it will sink in, kind of like quicksand.
Okie dokie. You've already passed your check for this scene. So, challenge rating 13.
All right, and do I get geology on that, or is that just my
Yeah.
terramancy?
Well, yeah, just terramancy. Because geology is more for when you start moving mountains and stuff like that, and
All right.
understanding the consequences.
Well, it's an 18 on the die, and I have
Indeed.
nothing but
So-
positive modifiers, so
So, how big an area?
I was thinking probably like if it's on one square, like it's the square that it's on, and then the immediate adjacent squares.
Welcome
in
in,
it,
Raider.
Hey, Raider.
So-
In a square pattern. So like the one that it's in, and like the 8 around it.
Yeah. So it's essentially one tile. So that type of radius, as you can see on the screen.
So let me get back to the. There we go. Yes, that is what I am intending.
Superb. So you summon your will. You feel the earth start to sieve and shake and separate, and small particles start dropping to bouncing around and fluffing around, and the creature is sucked. Oh, sorry. The creature is sucked. I can't lower them into the ground. But yeah, he is currently in a quagmire. So for him to move, will require a lot of his movement. He's in difficult terrain, as other D20 systems would call it. So,
And I will finish my movement and kind of center myself again, and that will be my turn.
okay. So, and the way that Fires of Athelen works, we don't have a set initiative order. We are back to the top of the round, so we roll initiative again.
All right, let's see.
17, so 20 plus. $15 plus.
I got 16.
Oh, good.
17. My friend, my bad guy friend over here will doing
Is he still under a cage?
stand up. Crawl out to the front. Can he see you? Yes, he can. Feel somewhat bruised, dust himself off, summon his wheel. And you guys are too far away to do anything about this. And let me just check, make sure you guys are how close you guys are. Sorry. That might increase his. So that would be 125 feet. So, yep, that one slightly increases difficulty rate. Challenge rate. So he's going to summon his will. Try and roll. Well, 11 plus 5 is 16, which is enough.
But are you counting his fatigue into that?
Yes, he's got 2 levels of fatigue, so minus 2, 14, still enough.
No. No. No.
Literally just enough.
Oh.
And
I can't contest it because he's
you
too
can't
far away.
because he's too close.
Too far away.
He's too far away. And so you don't see this, Ruby, but Zerk and Mr. Grell do. The air around you starts to spark and crackle, and a small flame bursts into being between the two of you. And explodes in a ball of fire, and you all suffer
I will not put up with this.
4 points of damage per location. Now this is where yes, this is where area effect spells and fires and healing are dangerous, and should be stopped at all costs. We don't have saving throws. Only magic that physically affects you or is targeted at you, you can resist. So area effect spells like fireballs or cones of lightning or anything else you can dream up. If you're in the area of effect, tough. There are skills like evasion which allow you to physically attempt to move out of the way as a reaction, but none of these guys have it. So you just have to suck the magic up. However, you can attempt to use your sorcery to protect yourself.
As a reaction?
As a reaction.
I would love to essentially, as I see the flame begin to expand, I would love to try to create a telekinetic shield that just solidifies the air around me and forces the fire, solidifies the air and creates a little vacuum behind it, forcing the fire in a direction away from me.
Okay. Are you attempting to do anything as a reaction?
Yes. I will try to pull Earth up from the ground at my feet and just kind of get, Earth in between me and the explosion.
So basically, like a temporary wall of stone in front of you.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. While this is happening,
pull up the sod and just hold it up.
Since I've seen this, because if there's already Earth popping up.
No, you've already declared because both these actions are happening instantaneously.
Fabulous.
It's your reaction to the fireball. So, firstly, we'll deal with Mr. Grells. Your challenge rating will be 13. Again, because you're using telekinesis, so you get all your normal telekinetic bonuses. So, as you'll probably understand now, once you get used to your character, you will get a sense of what your bonuses are automatically. So you don't have to.
All right. I rolled 10, so 15.
Because you're using sorcery as a reaction, you suffer a -4 penalty to your roll. Attempting to bring your will into existence quickly, as opposed to in a calm, centered, focused manner.
So I failed. Miserably.
Yep. So again, challenge rating 12 for you, Zerk, because what you're doing is probably a little bit easier. You're just throwing
and wisdom plus my Terramancy?
Yeah, wisdom plus your Terramancy bonuses.
Nice. It is a natural 20.
Okay. Automatic success. And in FOA, a natural 20 will solve pretty much all your problems. So yeah, this wall of earth explodes up around you. Because you've got a natural 20, it will absorb all the damage for you.
Nice.
However, Mr. Grail, you suffer
And
4
as
points of
I
damage
stand
per
there,
location.
waving my hands about, a fireball just blasts me in the face.
Yep. And you suffer 4 points of damage per location, which
My
adds up
hair looks terrible now. Thank you.
which adds up to a total of 24 damage. Which hurts.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's him done. He looks. Like
So
he's
now,
like-
all right. So I have a question. So I've got the 4 in each spot. My
Yep.
total is 45.
So that takes it down to 21.
Nice.
So whenever
All right.
whenever you take damage, you reduce it from the location and your total hit points.
And your total. All right.
Yep.
Fabulous.
So essentially you can take enough damage around your body to reduce you to 0, which will force you unconscious and cause you to start bleeding to death. And much like there is in a fight in the real world, is kind of that death by 1,000 cuts across your body, which will eventually result in you passing out.
Well, I'm not really into it, but
That's him.
sure.
That was on 17. Again, for the sake of the viewers, quite long-winded because again we're just explaining all this for people new to FOA. But once you get used to it, it becomes relatively quick. So that was on 17. 16, I believe, was you, Mr. Grell.
Oh, it's my turn. That's right.
Yes.
I'm going to do something fabulous is what I'm going to do.
Fabulous.
Let's see. All right. So I just been blasted right in the face with fireball, which is wholly inappropriate. And I'm assuming I know where it came from. It's that guy I just threw a cage at.
He's waving at you. He's giving you a hello.
Okay. I'm not excited about this. I am. What can I tell about him from here? Like, without having to use an action. Like, is he humanoid?
Yes, he's humanoid. Unlike the figure, he's not very tall. He's probably about your size.
The figure, the necromancer, is about my size.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. Okay. All right. Not into it. I am. Oh my god, I don't even know if I should do this. It's gonna be so ridiculous.
Do it. It's one shot.
Do it. It'll be ridiculous and awesome. Do it, please. I am begging you.
I'm looking at this building that he is standing, like right under the eaves. Did that rolling cage that smashed him, did it weaken any of the supports?
No, it didn't. It didn't hit the building at all. It just went through him and is now resting in the middle of the building. It didn't touch the building at all.
Okay, these are buildings made of wood and hay, right? Essentially.
Yeah, just made of logs and hay and.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna have to try it. I am going to look at him with my hair singed and my clothes singed and everything singed, and I am going to attempt to take this building, the front of it, not the whole building. Take this part of this building and just slam it down on top of him.
Okay. So you attempt to use your telekinetic strength to rip the building apart and drop the roof on him. So, I know you're 125 feet away. So you summon your will.
Yes, I do.
You get your telekinesis bonus and your intelligence bonus. Your challenge rating is your challenge rating is 17.
Oh shit! Okay.
Do it.
I can do it. Oh my god! I rolled a 17, so 22. I'm just gonna look down and say, I've had just about enough of you, sir.
He is going to, as the building starts to fall down on him, is going to attempt to use his reaction. His sorcery as a reaction. His challenge rating will be to go all Yoda on him, because he uses telekinesis as well. It will be 14. He gets a +3 bonus.
Oh dear.
-2, so +4.
Fail. I hope you fail.
Rolled a 19 on the dice.
Shut up.
And as the building starts falling down around him, just that building bit fell down over there. That building bit fell down over there. This bit started to fall down straight on top of him, and much like Yoda in one of the Star Wars films, he just goes,
Oh my god.
and drops it all to the side.
Damn you, why won't you just die?
And this clawed, tiny, gold skin, black flame hand reaches out from under the robe, and you instantly, as an Alienor, recognize it as a Daishi, and it gives you the finger.
Well, that's good to know. Do I know anything just off the top of my head
Yes.
about Daishi's physiology?
Daishi are corrupted Alienor. They are.
Oh,
They are your darker cousins. They were during a little bit of lore for our viewers. During the Age of Arcana, when the Alienor Empire expanded out beyond Athelen, when the Alienor were the dominant race in the world, they encountered the Ardorians and the Caridians, two worlds and peoples that they traded with and learned magic from. A lot of telekinesis and telepathy skills and magic today were learned from Caridians, and like hemomancy and blood magic and stuff were learned from the Ardorians. But Ardoria was attacked by the Ancient Ones, the demons that serve Darkos, the eternal darkness, the void, and are attempting to devour the universe. And the Elinar first came into contact with corruption and darkness then, and the Ancient Ones corrupted some Elinar during what's known as the Battle of Ardor, and they turned into Daishi. They took on infernal type traits, their personalities and stuff darkened, and they became their own corrupted, unique offshoot of the Elinar.
So,
Anyway.
if he is an offshoot of my race,
Yeah.
Would I need to take an action to actually figure out his physiology, or is it similar enough to my own?
Yeah, it's almost identical to yours, except that it will have infernal traits, maybe like claws or bone spurs or horns and stuff like that.
Lovely.
But it did give you the finger, so.
Which is very rude of it.
What were you on, Mr. Grail?
It was 16, right?
16.
16.
And I will move. Can I please move my person up back, like towards like Ruby? I'm feeling a little exposed here.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's your movement.
Okay. All right.
Right. So that was on 16, 15 plus 10 plus 12. Okay. You can go first, Ruby, before my little army gets to work.
All right, she's gonna go ahead and swing away at this creature in front of her again and go for, is it like a humanoid shape with 2 arms and 2 legs? Okay.
It is like a twisted, rotten human corpse.
Okay.
It is for intents and purposes a ghoul.
She's gonna go ahead and swing at one of its arms.
Okay. Left or right? Your choice.
Right arm.
Okay. Swing away.
That was a 19 plus 3, I believe.
That will do it.
Yeah. All right. I roll a D100 again?
No, you only roll that once.
Oh, okay. So that is
Okay.
an 8 on my die plus 2, so 10.
Yep, 10 points of damage to its right arm. You strike its right arm, you hear the bones snap and sinew and blood oozes out from rendered flesh and muscle, and the kind of arm just kind of flops limp at his side.
Is there opportunity attacks in this system? Like if she's trying to goad it to follow her?
Yep, you don't have skills, but there are things known as fighting techniques, which martial characters can learn. Um, And again, these are very customizable. They're totally up to you to decide what they do, as long as your GM ticks the box and says it works. But yeah, you can bait for all intents and purposes, or goad your attempt to goad your opponent into doing something that you want it to do, and in turn creating an attack of opportunity. And that fighting technique just simply replaces your action for the round. You just say, I'm going to feint. I'm going to use a feinting attack or a goading attack, whatever
Okay.
type of attack you want. And
Gotcha.
it's all customizable. You can completely create your own, or learn them from other NPCs or players that you meet along the way.
So if I
So-
step back 10 feet, it would get an opportunity attack, or
Yes.
okay,
Because
I'll just stay.
or you can use your reaction to disengage. You can use your reaction on your turn. It's simply you reacting. So your reaction to you swinging the sword and attacking would be to disengage and attempt to move back 10 feet.
Yeah, I'll do that. I want to try to make myself the bigger target for things to see me. So, yeah.
Okay. So, also on 12, my friend here is going to make a strength check to try and pull himself out of the mud. And as he's a dead zombie-like ghoul, he's not got a lot of strength, but that natural 20 will do the job.
Oh, damn. Right.
There he pulls himself out of the quicksand, uses half of his movement, and uses the other half to crawl very muddily and gooeyly in the direction of Zerk. My friend over here is going to just brains and run at
Ruby.
Ruby, because she used a reaction. She doesn't get an attack of opportunity. In the way, again, for the sake of the viewers, we have our threat range works in two directions. If you enter a creature's threat range or leave a creature's threat range, it provokes an attack of opportunity. There's a skill called Engage, which allows you to engage your target without getting hit. So it will just run up and take a swing at you with its left arm, which is at -4 because it's not proficient with its left arm. And go and miss wildly. My friends over here are gonna wander forward and throw a spear at Ruby. 13 plus 3 is 16.
That is my armor class.
So
Sorry, DR.
Thank you. So you get hit in the head
Oh no!
for a total of
Right in your face?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
God.
spear to the head for a total of 2 points of damage. This chap's going to wander forward and throw his spear. Oh no, is he got close enough? Is he within 10 feet? Because the spear is a reach weapon. Yes, he is. Just. So comes up, swings his spear at you, which doesn't have to throw it away. 12 plus 3 is 15.
DR 16.
So that's still going to miss. Gonna chuck a spear at I'm gonna chuck a spear at the annoying little Alinar. Because Master says so. 2, that'd be a miss.
Yeah.
Almost a 1.
Yes, almost a 1. And gonna chuck a spear at just make sure that we're within range. I'll roll that dice again because I was going to check something. Are we close enough? 40 feet? No. So I'm going to check it out, Ruby. Bye, Ruby.
That's the goal.
That's a miss. Another spear goes wildly. This will be fun. Is he in a direct line of sight of that attack? No. I just mean like that. Sorry. And my skeletons who have picked up discarded longbows are going to move forward a little bit. And
Come at me, bro.
they're both going to take shots at the guy that threw a cage at Master. So that'll be 18, which will, once you need dice, a total of 19, total of 20. So you got shot in the right arm, dealing. Just really need that. A total of 7 points of damage.
Oh man.
And the second one will sail wildly over your head. There are advantages to being short. That's it. So that's me done on 12. So I believe it's just Zerk to go.
Do it.
Because my initiative was 6. All right. Turk, noticing that the one that he had tried to seal in quicksand had gotten out of it. Well, that's a lot closer than he wants to be. So he will actually try to telekinetically throw a little white thing that is approaching him at the skeleton that is standing right next to that rock. So basically just straight back. Yeah. That's what I'm going to attempt to do.
Nice.
Okay, challenge rating 14? No, 13.
Do it.
Medium-sized creature.
Right.
He is going to get a magic resistance roll, but he is a zombified ghoul. So.
All right, so
14 minus 2, 12 failed.
Intelligence plus my telekinesis, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 13 plus 1 is 15.
A success. You succeeded. You pick him up and you hurl him at his body. He doesn't get out of the way. He doesn't have evasion. Squish. He barrels through him. Can you roll 1d4 followed by a d8, a d6 twice? And see.
See, a d4, a d6.
Yeah. No, just don't. First of all, just roll 1d4.
D4. Okay. D4 is a 2.
2. So, you, as the ghoul smashed through him, he hit 2 of his locations. So, you will do 1d6 damage with your flying ghoul.
Nice.
Plus your telekinesis bonus, which I believe is plus 4.
All right.
Who doesn't love a flying ghoul?
Yeah. See here, hang on. What is my telekinesis? I believe it's
You
tier
got
2.
Tier 2, so plus 2.
Alright, so that's going to be 2 plus 5 for 7.
So 7 points of damage, which location?
Oh, and get back to my dice roller and pull up a d8.
And my friend
7, so I believe that is the right leg.
Right leg, so it barreled into his leg, so and resolves damage for the second one, and he's going to get knocked flat in his butt.
Alright, so
Blech.
6. Let's see here, roll that. So that's going to be a 1 plus. 1 plus, what was it? Oh, it hits in the. I rolled a 7 again, so in the right leg twice.
Okay, so yeah, just smashed through his right leg, doing how much damage the second time?
I think that the second time was 3 points of damage.
That's 10 total. That's enough for. As he goes bowling through, you see the bone kind of splinter and break, and as for the rules for skeletons, if their location reaches 0, it just breaks and falls off. So you kind of smash through at the kneecap, removing its lower leg and ankle, and the skeleton kind of topples over to the side, and the zombified ghoul comes to a rest holding his friend's leg. Right, so that's it. We're into initiative.
All right. Okay. Let's see. What's this? All right. And ooh, I get a total of 20.
So 20
Hey.
plus.
20.
So 20. 20. So again, argue amongst yourselves.
You can go.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start striding forward. I'm gonna take my movement to get as close to him as I can. I'm going to start just getting really shitty about this. I have thrown a cage at you. I have dropped a house on you. What kind of evil witch are you that you are not dead yet? And he's going to recognize, after the finger, he recognizes what this is. He stops for a moment, purses his lips, then he simply holds out his hand and he reaches out with his telekinesis, searching with his knowledge as a physician, with his knowledge of physiology, and grabs with his telekinesis one single vertebrae
Which one?
in the center of his neck.
Okay, so is he
And just grabs it as hard as he can, waiting for it to land on his
You're
head.
going for a specifics. This is going to have to be very, very precise in what you're doing now. And probably during character creation, I forgot to tell you about something called arcane physics, which allows you to control your magic over areas and be precise with it. So I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, so your challenge rating for this, because it's going to be very precise, will be 16.
Shit. Do I get to add physiology or physician?
You get your telekinesis bonus. You get your physiology bonus.
Oh, okay.
Your understanding of physicians, or being a physician, which is basically you would know how to fix breaking.
Should I roll a D100 for my physiology?
No, you've already rolled it in this scene. You rolled it at the beginning.
Okay, all right. So it's only once in a scene. All right, so I get a +7 total.
Yeah, +7. Your challenge rate is 16.
Shit. Okay, I can do it. Hold on, what's up? Okay, all right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Natural 20!
Oh my giddy aunt. Okay, because it targets him, he does get an opportunity to resist.
No.
But by the rules, because he rolled a natural 20, which is automatic success, the only way he can succeed is by rolling a natural 20.
Oh my god!
And my dice is spinning there for dramatic effect. 16.
Yeah!
So, Master Grill reaches out with his magic and with looking at his target and with a sense of rage and, shall we say, pent up frustration and, shall we say, a rage based on heritage and racial divide, division.
Animus.
Snap. You see the rope twisted a little, and the neck twists aside, and as his body starts to fall, the hood falls away, and
it's your mom. No.
I want that goddamn vertebra.
Mr.
Is
Grill,
what I want.
you see your father's face.
What?
And as he falls dead to the floor, because somebody just broke his C3, all the skeletons collapse.
Yay! And I'm standing here in the middle of this with a vertebra of my father's in my hand.
It straight out of his neck, ripped it, and it comes zooming across the encampment to your hand. And
I mean, he's the reason I started drinking. So
I think we had enough Jedi references to get the I am your father reference in there. So, and as you do that, from up on the hill,
Uh-oh.
you should be a little bit higher up. Get over here, Scaffers. You hear echoing around the encampment. With your mission successful, having saved the only survivor, partially, he is suffering from like 3rd-degree burns at the moment. You return to Averford and deliver him back to the people of Averford, and succeed in your mission.
yeah.
And Ruby's like, Mr. Grail, you did it again. I gotta give it to you. That was impressive.
I need a drink.
Yeah.
Well-deserved drink, my friend. Yeah.
Indeed.
And to answer the JetBane's question, yes, this is Telspire. And after Izzy discovered it and introduced it to me, I instantly fell in love with it. Over on our channel 5, so I think it's all we use. It is stunningly beautiful, relatively easy to learn. If I can learn it, anyone can. But yeah, the VTT that we use is Telspire, but the game we played tonight is Fires of Athelen, one I wrote myself, and will be published very soon. And we have a big announcement coming, but I'll hand it over to Izzy and everyone to wrap up. So my first question, certainly for Izzy and Kyle, is did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so this is my second time playing. The first time I did sorcery, this time I did just the martial. I probably personally could have been more creative, but I am used to D&D where it's very much like you just slash and that's the thing. So I, could have gotten a little bit out of that comfort zone. But it was super simple to draft her up real quick and then easy enough to do the rolls. So yeah.
From a martial character's point of view, a lot of work went into our locational combat system in making it so that for martial characters there is a level of strategy and tactic and depth to it, so that you're not just rolling, adding a little bit of color commentary. Your swings have a physical and attritional effect on the fight. You can see how the damage builds up on your opponents. For example, you broke an arm, you broke a leg, and as you go through, obviously once you scale it up into the epic side of things, then you get to see when you cut off the dragon's wings or the demon's wing or whatever, how your martial skills affect the combat, which is something in other D20 systems, certainly those that have like block health pools, it isn't possible without the DM just having to
Winging
be
it.
incredibly creative on the spot. Our entire combat system, our locational combat system, is designed to give martial characters that type of freedom. And what about you, Kyle?
Oh, I had a blast. I did not realize when we started that I would be a drunken halfling. A drunken halfling Jedi, apparently. But that's where we went, and it was delightful. I really like the freedom of it all, and I think I feel like I sort of pigeonholed myself too a little bit with all of the telekinetic stuff and didn't really experiment with any other things, knowing that like even though I don't have the skill in that sort of sorcery thing, I could totally have like tried to boil his blood or tried to throw a fireball back at him or like something like that. There's
as far as the skills for sorcery is concerned, there are so many different combinations, like
Yeah.
hemomancy, pyromancy can be used to boil blood. There are, or you can just use telekinesis to rip somebody's vertebrae out of their neck.
Yeah, as you do. It's just what one does sometimes. um so yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. And once I think the challenge is for me is was getting through all of the different sort of skills and all that kind of stuff, and trying, because I'm like a completionist when it comes to video games. I want to know everything. I want to
Mm.
get all the treasures. I want to find all the things. There's so trying in the limited time that we had, trying to understand all of the different sort of variations of things that were available, and what I could have done with a character. Um, I think that it'll take a little more study, but once you understand that, then I think the freedom that it allows is really cool. Like there's being able to just sort of, like team up, rip open a cage, save a guy, kill a necromancer. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's how we do. That's just that's how we do. It's fine. So yeah, I really enjoy it. My one concern would be, like, for me as a DM, is, and I suppose it would be a little easier once I get it. It's just I didn't have to do it today, but I'm just thinking about, like, if I have a bunch of NPCs and keeping track of all of the limbs and all of that
Uh,
kind of stuff,
Yeah, the,
for
the,
like five or
the,
six different
the,
people.
the Games Master's Companion provides a complete breakdown on how to quickly create encounters. There's an entire chapter dedicated to
Oh, nice.
how to map things out very, very quickly and easily. Much like your character sheet, for example, all you need to know are these four basics for any, for example, like skeletons and stuff like that. If you're creating a skeleton, you need to know its total hit points. So you just make up a number 30. There you go, divisible by
Yeah.
30. Really easy. So it's got 10, 10, 10. So you just scribble down 30 total hit points. And if you've got a grid or just a piece of paper, then because you know the locations, you can know you've got the head, the body, left arm, left arm, right leg. So you just go 10, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10. And that's it. You've created your battle board for all intents and
Oh,
purposes.
nice.
Then all you need is the attack rating. So you go AR, just do some quick math in your head, or just make it up. Totally up to you. It says that a lot in the Games Master Companion. Just make it up. Say +2, fair enough. I'm giving my monster a +2 bonus. It needs a defense rating. Okay, I'm going to give it a 13 for whatever reason. Say it's got hide armor on, or it's got thick furs and hide. And that's kind of it. You can just fudge it a little. It needs other D20 systems are very, so to say, everything's written, everything's laid out for you. You've got these stat blocks, and everyone turns to them, and the rule lawyers get upset when someone plays a monster is played with stats that aren't written in the book. There aren't any in FOA. We provide complete guides for games masters to create their own monsters, to create their own NPCs. I essentially give you all the tools and tricks that I used in building the game, lay them out for you, and say, well, this is how we built the game. This is how it
Nice.
works. And we walk you through it step by step. And there are a few pre-built monsters for you to be able to look at, but we give you things like the monster creation tool, because some monsters don't use a D8 because they've got wings, and that means it's got a D10.
Right.
Some monsters have multiple legs, a D12, so you have what we call the locational hit dice, which is go from like D6 to D12, or even up to D20. So, for example, like a squid would have a D12 or and stuff. So it's all very flexible, and it's designed for you as games masters to be able to create things on the spot. And I've said this to Daniel and all of our other players and stuff like that. I very rarely design encounters because in my experience as a games master over 30 odd years. Players tend to wander off and do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
never.
These ones-
They will never get there.
Yeah, right.
they never get there. So I just react to
Not a
what they're
thing.
doing. Obviously, I've got this as its creator. I've got a level of understanding with FOA. I can literally write down a set of stats relevant to the strength of the party and know that the encounter will work. And as I say in the Games Master's Companion on a number of occasions, if your encounter is too powerful and the party are losing and you don't want them to die, just make things fall over.
Yeah.
It is that simple. The whole point of being a games master in FOA is to give you, the games master, freedom that you don't tend to get in other D20 systems because you are restricted by these rules. Being a games master in FOA is as free as being a player is for you tonight. You have
That's
complete
awesome.
freedom to do whatever you want. As with the magic, I had no idea what magic you were going to do. Excellent use of telekinesis to try and pull the building down upon his head. So I just made it up. Right? Okay, fine, fair enough. Obviously, everybody's seen Yoda. His famous scene where someone tried to drop a rock on his head. So yeah, just go for it. There are rules and structures in there to allow you to do it. But the whole point of it is to give you freedom as a games master, as a player, and with that freedom, hopefully comes enjoyment.
Yes.
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you. So thank you for playing. We can do outros, starting from the top down. So that would be on stream anyway. That's going to be Cirque,
Ooh, an outro.
an outro.
I'm just going to fade into the distance. Ah!
He's Daniel.
The stereo plays on Fires of Athelen, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, Daniel.
Although I will say, I was watching Kyle go through everything, and Ian had mentioned, "All right, do you have arcane physics?" And I was like, "Dang it, I took arcane physics at tier 2." And then he tried to pull down the building, and I'm like, "Dang it, I have engineering. Like I could use all of this stuff."
Yes.
And he just beat me on the initiative rolls, and time was had
Nice.
by all. So
Awesome.
but
So,
thank you for having me. I have enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on. I'll probably stick around in Discord, and this is another. It seems like a pretty cool community. So thank you. I appreciate it.
thank you for joining us. And next in line.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Yay! I'm Kyle. I am the leader of Play Nerd Allies. We are actually in the same stream team here as the Nat 30 fabulousness in the Rolling Together stream team. It's delightful. We over at Play Nerd Allies, we are a bunch of Alphabet Mafia, neurodivergent, hyper creative, epic storytellers. And you can just come over. We are on Twitch at Play Nerd Allies if you'd like, and on Twitter at Play Nerd Allies and Allies Nerds. So just come over and say hello. And we stream 3 times a week in our own homebrew world, and we're actually doing a special thing for the next couple of weeks where we are finishing up a campaign that we are doing in the Wheel of Time world. Nice. Very excited about that. And then the premiere, we're going to be doing a watch party for the premiere on Amazon Prime of the Wheel of Time series. I hope we don't get sued. So, so come and say hi. And yes, it was so much fun to be here tonight. And it was the first time I got to play with Izzy, and it's so delightful. Yay!
Thank you for joining. All right, and then Fires of Athelen, the star, arguably, of this tonight's stream.
No, definitely not me. I'm Ian. I'm the creator of Fires of Athelen. You can obviously catch us. I'm usually hanging around in Izzy's chat somewhere, lurking. We also, over on Twitch, we stream twice a week, 3 times a week even, on a Sunday at 7:30 EST, kind of straight after Izzy, and the Nat 30s and the Bums. And on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. GMT and 8 p.m. EST. on our Wacky Wednesdays. Fires of Athelen will be available at the end of Q1 2022. We have a big announcement coming up. Our release has been delayed for a very important reason, which is huge. And on November the 20th, on Saturday, myself and Daniel, who's all the way at the top, Daniel's part of our Tales of the Harbinger group, a group of really interesting individuals that will eventually murder each other. I don't need monsters, trust me. We will be doing a charity stream in the aid of Stand Up to Cancer, as well as a number of personal player charities. Kaylin is raising money for the Jed Foundation. Isaac is raising money for Stonewall Columbus, and Daniel at the top is raising money for Panthera, the Big Cat Wildcat charity. And that's running from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. EST, 12 hours, on November the 20th. So please head over to our channel, hit the follow button, swing by, help us support some crazy charities whilst I kill myself in a role playing session.
And I'll
And
be
you
there.
can watch me disassociate in real time.
And Izzy, and Izzy will be joining us as one of our guests. So yes.
When my child is or children are asleep or something, I'll figure it out. I live my life around, my children's schedule. So I am Izzy. This is the Nat 30s. We are playing TTRPGs multiple days a week. And our next game is this Thursday. It is the Bums of Greenest, which is our main campaign that I DM. We are live in person in my garage, which we are slowly building into a more workable kind of studio space with your help. Thank you so much for the biddies and the subs and the donations and all of that. It is all going towards making our stream better. You can enter into our giveaways throughout the month. We have, oh shit, let me actually do that before we friggin' disappear here. Hold on, I gotta roll my beautiful bean footage. We are going to do a giveaway. And we have actually quite a few people who entered today, so I'm very happy. I'm always happy to see numerous individuals who enter into the giveaway. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And this is for a BD&D t-shirt for a first-time winner, or a mug. You can start to join our BD&D mug club, which we're still figuring out what that means. You get a mug at least. So here is, we're going to close the giveaway. Oh wait, Jet Bones, you're in there. You're in there. Okay, closing the giveaway, and then we're going to pick a winner. Graham, rigged. Congrats, Graham. Thank you for always hanging out.
At least it wasn't me. I'd have 5.
Thank you so much, Graham. Graham actually just got a mug, so
Nice.
we'll see what Graham chooses this time. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Please join us on Sunday to find out who the winner of our October dice from Almost Critical. Find out who that is going to be. They are fantastic, beautiful dice. Go on our Twitter. You can see what they are. Oh, maybe I've pinned the November dice since, but they are a set of dice that I actually have in the other room. I got to touch them with skulls inside and music, a sheet of music that you can read that is Danse Macabre. Every single die has this in them. It's unreal. So we will be, I know, it's gorgeous. We will be choosing that winner on Sunday. And then we also have the Bright Bark, which is where I got my character's last name from, November dice that we will be giving away for this month. And I've already coordinated for what next month's will be. So, Chaotic Platypus, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. That much closer to our goal. All right. So, speaking of Tailspire, Demon Gund creates, is he in Tailspire right now? Yes, he is. So
Yes, he is.
Demon
It should
Gund creates Tailspire, beautiful maps and everything. So I was gonna raid Demon Gund tonight. So
I think you'll be finishing off the Amber Temple.
oh, nice, beautiful work, so you guys can see what Tailspire looks like when
when
like
you're building.
when you're legit in it every day. So we're gonna raid them. So thank you. We will see you on Sunday. Please join us. And as a reminder, patrons get an automatic entry into our dice giveaway every month. So just saying, starts at $1. All right, we'll see you. See you on Sunday. Bye.
Cheers, bye, folks.